Hi people, it's Mikefield here, and we are going to enjoy the semi-finals of the Butchers League today, people. I am super thrilled because we have some most excellent players we have ever seen in the Butchers Circus altogether. And it's going to be Sis and Mangle, SBRH and Cherry. Obviously, they will be playing in a different order, so the first match of the day, guys, is going to be the matchup between Cherry and Mangle. It's going to be a best of 5, deck based as per usual. The players have already posted their decks, and I'm just going to bring them up in a second. And the second match of the day is going to be SBRH versus Sis. And those are the two stellar titans, really. This may be probably one of the most interesting matches in the entire tournament because both of those players have shown extreme amount of thought and anticipation in their games. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to that, guys. So I'm just going to get into a cast room right now on Discord together with Silencia, and we'll try to talk you through the decks of the players and about the possible matchups. And once we're done with that, we will indeed get started with Mangle versus Cherry. We'll go through the bands and such. Hope you guys enjoy yourselves. And yeah, let's get started with the actual tournament. Hello, Silencia, my man.
Hello there, Mike. How you doing?
Oh, perfectly fine. I had like a really decently large coffee, and I'm very much ready to get started and get rolling with today's matches right now.
I'm glad to hear.
So guys, first matchup, as I said, Cherry versus Mangle. What do you make of this?
I mean, as we already mentioned yesterday while we were all talking about it, I think everybody is extremely excited for these matches. We have Mangle, who has shown himself to be an extremely good player throughout both this tournament and Misakun. He's just performed very well. He's a very high rank and just, he's shown himself to be able to make a lot of on-the-spot decisions that many people wouldn't think of. Meanwhile, Cherry, nobody saw coming. She was invited due to other drops, and despite this, everyone expected, her to not perform very well. She has performed excellently through this tournament, having, honestly, a very impressive win-loss ratio, especially for someone that nobody saw coming.
Yeah, right. And she had zero experience in the viewer games as well, so it was such a big surprise to me that she performed so extremely well. I mean, we could see some pronounced mistakes in her play, but obviously, everybody has been making those mistakes, even Sis. So you have to kind of believe that, and even SBRH, right, who basically feels like watching SBRH play throughout the tournament specifically felt like watching an AI play StarCraft or League of Legends or whatever other game you might imagine, like a Go or chess, right? This is absolutely ridiculous play by SBRH. And Sis kind of gave us the taste of very similar playstyle where it was so extremely dominant that, the opponents of those two players were just consistently quitting their matches just because they felt so hopeless in those games.
Exactly. And just, every player here has just shown, so much dominance throughout all their tournament matches that it's hard to tell, who's going to end up winning in the end.
Yeah, I agree. And those are really crazy players. Seriously, we have Mangle here, by the way. Mangle who almost got taken by SBRH, but he finally managed to claw his way back. Maybe through some fortunate events, but also you have to count his excellent play in. And Mangle told me, he didn't really pay that much attention to making the compositions for the group phase. So he did a lot of refining, and he has brought some really amazing teams to the table today. So it's just going to be such an exciting matchup. Mangle really try-harding, Cherry try-harding for sure as well. There's some sort of a small rivalry between the two as well. Not going to kind of get into the details here, but obviously really a matchup to look forward to. And then on the second match of the day, we'll have Sis versus BRH also. Sis has a lot to prove here coming as a champion of Michigan's tournament, whereas SBRH, this person nobody expected really to be here. He made it all the way through the qualifiers. He made it all the way through groups. He absolutely smashed most of his opponents. The only player throughout the entire tournament who was able to take off a single game even, off his hands was Mangle. Nobody else was able to even defeat him in a singular match. Not in a entire series, in a singular match. So it really kind of speaks of the caliber of the player we're dealing with here. Obviously, Sis yesterday sweeping the games of his in a very clean and convincing fashion, I have to say. So both those players excellent and really prepared for those games as well, you have to believe.
Mm-hmm. Right, truthfully, I cannot wait for these games to start, as there's just really no real way to know who's going to come out on skillful and
Yeah. We can now join Mangle. Let's just go to Mangle's stream, because then we get some music in the background as well. So I think people might enjoy that. So just join the tournament match channel. And let's just get to the feed here. And we shall have a look at the matchup between... I mean, not yet, obviously, but we'll just be able to look at the, the setup of those two players. So first of all, let's just go to the bans, because I do have the bans of both those players ready. So I'm just going to very quickly go through my Discord history so that I don't really mess anything up. Obviously, you'd hate to see any mistakes here. So Mangle has banned the Jokes and Forks composition by Cherry. And this is, this is the Mangle comp. This is the Halo comp again.
Yeah, there's nothing to mention there. Honestly, I won't be surprised if Cherry also bans Mangle's comp labeled Conquest. Just, we've seen, these 4 characters, Arbalist, Jester, Bounty Hunter, Crusader, one of, if not the definitive strongest comps we've seen this entire tournament.
Oh, Cherry bans Death comp, by the way, so...
the Death comp. Very interesting choice. What are your thoughts on this, Mike?
So maybe she has something prepared. I mean, you'd expect if you go into a best of 5, by the way, because this game, this is going to be somewhat different from what we have seen so far. This is because, guys, specifically, this is because you have to win with every single composition of yours in order to proceed to the finals. So this is the deal here. Because every single time you win with a composition, this composition is disabled for the series. Which means that obviously every single win is going to be important. I have no idea, maybe Cherry has some specific thing planned for the game number 1, which probably will carry over, and perhaps she has some crazy plan there. They have been practicing with CEST, I think, all day long, as far as I saw it in the, in my Steam list. Like, those guys were, like, consistently trying things. I feel like they were just practicing those compositions. So Cherry is very much prepared to face, I feel like, whatever Mangle has in store. And I'm very, very hyped to see that, really. And on the other side, obviously, Mangle respecting this Halo composition, which, by the way, Cherry showed quite a few weaknesses on yesterday. So maybe actually not the best ban in the world. I would probably, if I were Mangle, I would probably ban another comp, honestly, because I feel like Cherry actually, as far as all those comps she played, this was probably her weakest performance. On Jokes and Forks, she had, like, the weakest performance throughout the entire tournament. I'm not really sure, obviously. Maybe this was just a singular fault that, they managed to kind of fix throughout the day. But you have to really feel that this team is indeed the very scary one. So maybe Mangle just doesn't really want to be dealing with this amount of bullshit that can come out of this one. Because, you have the finale, the Heartseeker BH probably, the Arbals with double offensive items. Obviously something that you really want to avoid. I feel like that's just why Mangle just went for it. This is like a very safe ban. Right, this is just the first time in this format, so people don't really know each other. They don't know the strongest teams of their opponents yet. So I feel like that's just the kind of the safety net ban that Mangle took, and yeah, you can't really criticize that, can you?
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, I'm just gonna let the players know that we are indeed ready to get into the game, because we are. I'm just gonna ask Mangle also to switch on the music and deafen himself. And I think we're going into game 1, guys. So this is going to be game 1 between Mangle and Cherry. We're loading in, and let's get started. Mangle versus Cherry, best of 5 people. Probably the most exciting day to be watching this tournament, because we have so many excellent players. Right, and this is the Shieldbreaker comp from Mangle. What do you make of this, Silentia? What do you make of this?
Well, looking at both comps, starting with Mangle, it appears that he's very much so going to want to be focusing on a lot of damage over time, being able to stack a lot of Blight with the Abomination, the Shield Breaker, the Antiquarian, as well, potentially having the Man-at-Arms just to play support while, bellowing, keeping all of Cherry's attack values down, making it so that, the Blight has time to stack and, start dealing some real damage. We see a first turn transformation going for a slam onto the Crusader, potentially wanting to shut down his stuns, make it so that Cherry won't be able to gain any advantage in the turn order that way, as well as applying a lot of stress by transforming, applying a ton of horror to the whole team.
You know what? I have a bet here, actually. I feel like Mangle is doing something else. I think we're just getting a wrong read here. What I think Mangle is doing is just trying to tank this game with the weakest comp he has. Because this means that the Zedus comp is no longer on the cards. He will be able, like, even if... So, he might obviously not lose this one, right? But he takes the weakest comp in the game 1. Cherry probably takes his strongest one. And this means that if Cherry wins this one, her strongest composition is no longer playable for her. Whereas Mangle has those two very powerful flagellant comps on top of everything else that, you know, he can just take into this. Obviously, by the way, Mangle has to win with this comp still. So I'm not really sure that I'm correct on this one, but it feels like this is a very decent strategy, guys. Just losing the very first match and just kind of getting the read on what your opponent might be playing next, because then you only have two comps to pick from. Maybe this is what Mangle is just doing here. So, you know, just eliminating this strongest comp by losing to it. That's a valid strategy in a best of 5. So, yeah, this might indeed be the case here. Obviously, we just don't know, right? Those players have their own ideas here coming to this matchup. So, obviously, we can see a lot of movement, by the way, on Mangle's side, right, with this A-bomb, this shield breaker. So you can really be messing with the composition of Cherry. And obviously, Mangle's such a proficient player with basically, he's adept with every single composition in the Butcher's Circus you can even imagine. He made quite a few himself as well. And all those DOTs, this is basically Mangle's signature move. So you have to just see that, you know, he is definitely doing... you know, he definitely knows his stuff. Okay, that's what I wanted to say here. And we will just see how he performs on this comp right now.
One thing we have to mention, though, is Shield Breaker. Going for the Pierce on the Houndmaster, it does do some damage. However, it does also push his Abomination back into second position, which means if he doesn't immediately slam back into first, then Cherry will be able to slam him up back, get him into fourth, and render his Abomination in a very bad spot.
Yeah.
We see a Hound's Harry come out, however, he would have gotten riposted, though it was a dodge on the side of Cherry.
A plethora of dodges really across the board. I feel like 3 dodges on the side of Mangle and a singular dodge by the Houndmaster of Cherry here. The regen here dropping, I feel like Mangle just knows that, you know, this comp does a lot of damage on top of stress as well, so he's just trying to make sure that his characters do not end up in desperate position. This crit, however, very fortunate for Cherry.
27. Dropping the regen extremely early, making it so that they'll be able to take use of that and just make it so that they'll stack up faster than the Hound's Harry will be able to apply bleed. Make it so that not only the damage over time they take would be neutralized, but also they'll be able to continue to gain health back and potentially get themselves out of death's door if they are reduced to that.
Yeah. We also can see Cherry actually taking over the stress lead in quite a decisive fashion as well. So she has dealt, I feel like, about 30-40 more stress across the board, which is a decent deal for turn number 2 beginning. So Mangle also plays this very passively, so I'm kind of not too sure this is exactly the correct call, you know, just slowing down the game so much here, especially against Trash, right? Because you really need to get this damage out as well. On the other hand, however,
another
Mangle...
thing to mention is that against stress, having that regen is extremely powerful, you know? Just being able to constantly pop yourself out of death's door while still being able to apply pressure of your own is an invaluable asset when facing against them. Plus, Mangle does have the trinket, which makes his regen last even longer, which will allow him to gain even more advantage through that.
He really needs to save this A-bomb now, though, because this is kind of a scary spot. He might just lose him to, you know, a Holy Lance followed up by the Hound's Harry. I feel like what Mangle wants to do is just transform back to human and just start dropping the DOTs, because his composition is primarily DOT based, right? He has quite a lot of stress, but mostly I feel like he just wants to do DOT across the board here. You know, obviously a lot of Blight, also quite beneficial because you don't really have to worry about this high bleed resistance by those characters. And only the A-bomb by Cherry has decently large Blight resistance. So you'll be, if you are Mangle here, you'll be landing a lot of those dots across the board. So on the other hand, if you're Cherry, you really have to kind of go fast because you can't really afford to take too many DOTs, you know, just on the face here.
Another thing to mention is that Cherry is going to be slowed down a lot, is she won't be able to just spam Hound's Harry freely, as Mangle has been able to set up 2 riposts, meaning that if she just wants to try and play extremely aggressively, she's going to be taking not only a lot of damage, but also a lot of blight and a lot of stress back to her Houndmaster's face. This
is also a very important moment for Mangle, because Cherry kind of missed the beat in this fight right now. She could have actually Holy Lance from the get-go on this A-bomb, putting him at death's door again, and perhaps allowing for this Hound's Harry to come through as well. So she doesn't kind of embrace that. She goes for the MAA's Bellow, I believe, which means that this A-bomb now lands secure in rank 1. So only the Houndmaster can actually hit him right now, and this means that, you know, there's kind of a lot of pressure just gone from Cherry from the get-go. Obviously, this A-bomb probably is going to be under heavy siege turn 2, but right now he's just relatively safe, right? We might see guard come down still, but obviously the abomination of of Cherry still able to, kind of still capable of breaking that guard, so perhaps no real point doing this. So perhaps Mangle will just have to bite the bullet on this one and just take the risk, because I feel like we might just see a dead A-bomb. What do you make of this very late Bellow, by the way? This is 10-2 and Bellow.
Well, the late bolster is a very interesting play. Generally, bolster. You would want to try and get it up as early as possible. However, considering that, while Mangle does have a lot of stress, it is still turn 2, so he may still be able to get a lot of value out of that. Alongside that, just having the extra dodge on both the Antiquarian and the Shield Breaker could end up being extremely handy.
Yeah, absolutely. So we might just see this very, very strong play coming from Mangle right now, honestly. Like, I'm kind of scared of this A-bomb, but I feel like Mangle has been able to do a lot of DOTs overall. And, you know, putting pressure on this Houndmaster right now, we might just see like a puncture come through, which also will potentially put this Crusader in row 3 once again, unable to land those stuns. And Mangle has been actually so good at controlling this Crusader throughout this fight, right? So even though
Mangle
this
has
actually...
been in a very dominant position this entire time, keeping Cherry on the back foot, making it that she can't make the aggressive plays that she wants to, making it so that she can't get the stuns to try and stop Mangle. He has just been so dominant and so oppressive in this match that Cherry hasn't been able to accomplish much. Though, despite that, she's still been doing okay considering the situation she's in. You know, she has one affliction on the board, and... she does have the one affliction on the board, and, you know, others are soon to come. Alongside that, you know, she does still have the Abomination who's at death's door. He's shield breaked, so we won't be able to see a guard come out from the Man-at-Arms, and he's dazed, which means he won't be able to be activated to get the regen. Yeah. So this Abomination will most likely end up dying unless Mangled finds a way to stop it.
Yeah, it looks like a 50-50 chance, really, because Hound's Harry can come through and the Holy Lance can come through as well. The question really is, do you want to be risking this? Because, alright, right now, okay, actually that's okay for Mangle, because actually you can see him attempting to guard that, which he is unable to do because the A-bomb is indeed shield broken. You see like a plethora of status effects across the board for this A-bomb, by the way. So right now, really a coin toss.
Status effects that it took me a moment to double check and make sure there was even an affliction there.
Yeah, there is. It's like, we see a Holy Lance. This might be a kill. It's not, though.
It's not. Cherry.
It's very important.
Cherry doesn't manage to get the kill. Mangle hangs on for a moment, and even if, you know, he isn't able to make much of this, you know, it'll still likely lead Cherry to want to try and play a bit more aggressive, potentially go for a Hound's Harry and get the kill, potentially even eating some ripostes alongside it.
Mangle is actually using this super aggressive Antiquarian with the finisher equipped. There is no pest, Materia Pestis though, so there is no increased blight duration. So she is both like a healer and a finisher, but she doesn't really focus on doing blight damage here. So, you know, this kind of falls flat, I have to say, right? This A-bomb very healthy still, by the way. Cherry, that's kind of uncharacteristic as well. I would have said, like, activate the Houndmaster, go for this Hound's Harry while you still can, because right now you can no longer do this. You know, just you can no longer threaten this A-bomb with death.
Exactly.
Basically.
Not only is he out of death's door, but, you know, he's no longer stunned, which means that he'll be able to just act immediately next turn, get up another Beast Bile, get up another riposte, and Cherry just won't be able to, you know, continue to reliably apply pressure without just eating so much back that it won't even be worth it.
Yeah, actually, do you really want to be activating this? Do you really want to be activating this character if you're Mangle? Because you probably want to wait for damage first, right? Because you still are healing by quite a bit. So I feel like this is the right move right now. Mangle just waits, takes this additional bit of damage, just delays the inevitable by a single 10 more. Like, as long as you can just keep this character out of death's door, like, you should not be activating him at all. So just see him wait and, you know, hold his ground here. Obviously, Cherry right now has been able to do quite a lot of stress. Also, you know, damage has been traded mostly equally across the board because, you know, the A-bomb here at death's door alongside this Houndmaster of Cherry. So it's mostly the DOTs that are the scary part, right? Mangle has been able to consistently stack a lot of damage on Cherry's lineup, so this will indeed pay dividends, guys. Bingo, right? For Mangle. When we go to those later turns.
She attempts to kill the Houndmaster, going for the Festering Vapors with the finisher equipped, essentially a 50-50. However, it unfortunately does not pay off for Mangle, and the Houndmaster gets to live another turn.
Yeah, actually he didn't take damage there, so he didn't lose the Devil of Resistance either, which is very important for him as well. because this means he is quite safe still. Oh, this aim actually resisting the stun is huge, because Mangle can not only activate this character right now, can also just go for a killing blow. Which actually the Houndmaster did take the damage there. I didn't notice that, but he did. 60% death blow res means he did indeed get threatened by the death blow. And we might just see a confirmation here right now coming from Mangle. Obviously, he can do quite a few things here. He can either transform, he can go for like even a stun here on the Crusade, which he might do, right, just to get like some semblance of control here. Obviously, by the way, this A-bomb quite hurt and also very stressed. So we might see him actually do something crazy. He goes for perhaps a rake even. That's kind of a
it looks like he's going
move.
For a rake. Just
no, he goes for rage.
He chooses rage. A very interesting choice.
Yeah, I felt he had like minus 80% damage debuffs. So I feel this is why. So he really didn't want to risk, doing 0 damage to Houndmaster. He probably just looked at this like he felt like, okay, is this really gonna be 0 damage again? That's kind of scary, right? So obviously he probably makes the right decision here. Obviously, on the other hand though, there's another death blow potentially coming through right now from the A-bomb of Cherry. Mangle can guard this, but I don't really see a point in this, right? Mangle
exactly, yeah, they're no longer guard broken, so they do have the option of that. However, the Abomination will just simply be able to Beast Bile and potentially pick up the kills through stress, even if it doesn't, land the death blow.
Right, so there is Slam available, so there is no reason to be guarding this. You just have to probably try to go for it. Oh, that's very unfortunate, because Mangle has a very serious debuff to damage again. So we see like some uncharacteristic mistakes coming from Mangle as well, just underestimating how much this can do. A death blow actually comes through as well on the A-bomb.
Oh, that is very unfortunate for Mangle. Very fortunate for Cherry.
Yeah, and you really have to ask the question, like, is this Antiquarian going to be able to finish the job here? You have to feel like she is, right? 45 death blow resistance here, very low, and the Antiquarian single Vapors will probably do it. And this is indeed a death blow traded back, and this also breaks the Abomination of Cherry. We see a lot of afflictions actually. You have to feel like Cherry has been doing quite a decent job at stressing Mangle, but Mangle is actually paying back in kind here, and he has been really able to balance it out. He has done a lot of stress. Obviously this will be balanced out right now because there is no longer the A-bomb available from Mangle, whereas like all those 3 major stress dealers for Cherry are still on the table. This Crusader gets resolve tested and comes out fearful as well. Very important here that he doesn't get that virtue here for so Mangle can actually just reliably calculate this battle coming into the future turns. By the way, this dodge on Shieldbreaker hasn't quite paid dividends for Mangle.
Not quite.
Here,
I don't
right?
believe the Shieldbreaker has shown us a single dodge this game. Just the natural dodge alongside the anklet, alongside the bolster. You would assume that they would be dodging a lot more attacks than they're currently showing.
We might be in for a very long game, by the way, because those are very low damage characters across the board, and you have to feel like those riposte, the Shieldbreaker having a very high dodge overall, is just going to take a while to resolve this. This game is by no means solved, guys. This is as even as it really gets. So you can see how well Cherry is doing here in this match, because Mangle is one of the most lethal players ever. Like, if I were to choose like between Sis and Mangle as far as like whom I would be facing in my tournament fight, by the way, Mangle did smash me in Mizikan's tournament, right? So I'd really probably choose Sis. I'm kind of scared of the man. So Mangle has a reputation here that he has to defend right now, and he's really, he has really met his match in Cherry. You have to feel. By the way, those region stacks are coming up huge. Can you imagine this fight without the region being dropped for the first 2 turns? I feel like this Amo would have been dead long time ago. This Shieldbreaker again, like, regens a little bit of HP still. So basically all the damage by the Houndmaster has been nullified by the regeneration dropped very early into the fight by Mangle. So this is like a very, very decent read by the man. This is quite a kind of nice turn of events for Mangle, by the way. This Crusader being moved to third again. He got like a single stun this entire fight, I feel. So yeah, it's just kind of a decent situation for Mangle in this regard. Obviously, also the riposte available on this MAA of Mangle kind of stops Cherry in her tracks. Also, attacking this Shieldbreaker probably not the best decision in the world, because she can just Aegis this one right now. She will probably be eating those attacks left and right. She'll be pretty safe. I feel like we might just see this, the Serpent's Way coming through very soon. Obviously Mangle here has a lot to think about, because he has like a lot of moves available. He might want to Serpent's Way as soon as possible, because there's another stun available for Cherry here in the form of this Abomination. He obviously can transform back to human and drop those manacles. So you have to feel like she might, Mangle might want to just get this Shieldbreaker defended. Because if I were Cherry, just be going for a stun right now. That's just kind of the reasonable thing to do, you have to feel. Obviously, we say an act out here, some stress comes across the board. This animation very stressed, frankly, so she might that's kind of the only good move right now she has available, right? Just kind of controlling the shield breaker, maybe being able to take her down before something really comes into play. By the way, she hasn't really dodged too much. It's kind of unfortunate for for Mangle.
You know, she has 50 dodge that would lead you to believe that most attacks would end up being a coin flip, yet it has just ended up being heads every single time for Cherry. The shield breaker not landing a single dodge. They're being controlled by the manacles, by the stunning blow, and truthfully, they just haven't been able to accomplish much ever since the Houndmaster has died, though. Even despite that, you know, just the early game presence that the shield breaker was able to provide, you know, with the immense amount of movement, stopping Cherry from gaining an early tempo advantage through the stunning blows, I'd say that in the end, the shield breaker is still proving to be extremely useful despite this situation.
I mean, she will get the Aegis eventually, right? You have to feel like this might be next turn, because this Crusader can, like, she's kind of safe actually, because the only character that can reliably do damage to her is the Crusader, who is right now in row 3. So obviously this Abomination heavily debuffed as well. I feel like this is kind of a decent spot still for Mangle. He might just go for this bonus dodge here, so he drops Restoration in the end. He doesn't rely on RNG, he just goes for this guaranteed healing that will be coming through throughout the following turn as well. So Cherry here might actually be forced to heal. You can see those afflictions really come into play for Mangle here. So Mangle is doing a lot of stress damage just passively, having the Abomination, you know, or not even the Abomination, those characters afflicted consistently. Also the stress, obviously, from the Abom still proccing for the following turn. So yeah, quite a decent spot honestly from Mangle. He has been able to reapply those Harris stacks, by the way. So Cherry is taking this full 128 stress damage for the second time in a row. This will obviously slowly bring her out, bring her down to this heart attack. And Mangle is actually ahead in terms of stress right now, which is kind of uncommon. You wouldn't really expect this to happen. I know, considering that Cherry had a superior stress composition overall. But the pressure that Mangle has been able to apply basically just kind of even things out. Also, I feel like this shield breaker got a couple of crits there, so this might be the case here. Like, this might be a reason why she has been really getting those hits through. Also, this Crusader forced to heal again. This means that, you know, he's not stunning, he's not dropping any accusations. He has been virtually useless throughout that fight, so you have to really commend Mangle for, you know, controlling the Crusaders to such perfection. This might be the reason why, by the way, you have seen such a low wound rate for Crusaders throughout the tournament, right? Because the character is easy to control. He has like such immense burst for, you know, in terms of damage, in terms of stunts, in terms of, you know, stress as well coming from the Zell's accusations. But he's so easy to just be put in third or fourth even. And this is exactly what Mangle did. Like he basically just did all the maths, and right now he's definitely in driver's seat in this fight.
Crusader, despite how powerful he's often conceived to be, his one main fault is something that many people don't consider, and that is in fact his resistances. While he does have high bleed, you know, it doesn't matter, as he has very low movement, very low stun, very low blight and debuff. You know, he's just so easily controlled by so many different things. You know, he can be bellowed, he can be pushed, he can be stunned, and, you know, just being able to stop that Crusader is such a common way of dealing with him, as we see, you know. And in fact, even if, you know, he does get pushed back, he may not always be able to do a lot. We saw earlier in the game, he Holy Lanced the Antiquarian, yet looking at her health, you would never assume that.
Yeah, geez Louise, look at those heart
attacks, and this game looks to be completely over. You know, Crusader's dead, everybody is close to death.
Cherry surrenders.
Cherry just goes ahead and surrenders.
Holy shit, Mangle is such a scary man. Can you believe how scary Mangle is? Holy shit, like, I can't believe my eyes. Like, this was... Like, it felt like such an even game. Mangle just made so many correct decisions, just anticipating everything. Seriously, such a scary performance, considering, you know, he has, you know, two very meta compositions left as well. And Cherry lost on a comp that, you know, she probably wanted to take this 3W on. And, you know, she can obviously use it again. There is nothing stopping her from doing this, right? She can just go for this very same composition once again. But holy crap, you have to be afraid of Mangle. This man just came to kill today. I feel like he's just going to absolutely demolish this series if he is let, you know, to if he is allowed to do so. So he has been able to fully control Cherry's Crusader throughout the fight. Really, the shield break, you know, we had an argument on Discord right before this fight actually, where Mangle was saying, you know, I feel like shield break had probably B- tier at best. And I feel like she was like S tier in this fight, seriously controlling the entire pace of the fight. Such a crazy character if, you know, left to the, you know, if left to her own devices, and also if a proficient player controls her. It was such a beautiful fight by Mangle here. You really just, if you're Cherry, you just have to kind of be amazed by how good Mangle has been able to perform this character specifically, right? So I'm very happy that we saw the Shieldbreaker actually succeed for once, because this might kind of shut up a lot of people, because I don't feel like this is MAA screaming that turned this fight around. This is mostly the Shieldbreaker really setting the pace of the fight throughout the entire duration of this one, this matchup here between Cherry and Mangle.
It felt as if the Man-at-Arms was just simply, a breeze in the wind, just something in the background, while the main stars of the fight were in fact both the Shieldbreaker and the Antiquarian. Being able to control so much, being able to being able to pull, being able to, apply so much bleed, and just the Antiquarian as well, having that finisher, being able to pick up the kill when she needed to, being able to apply more bleed, being able to apply the regeneration, just to get so much value out of that. It's absolutely incredible.
Yeah, by the way, Shepard, Mangle does deafen himself for the fights. I just double checked that, so he just undeafens so that he knows when we tell him that we are ready. So I just messaged him as well. Yeah. But it's absolutely clean play by Mangle. Shepard is absolutely clean play by Mangle. So guys, I feel like we're about as ready as humanly possible to go into game number 2, and I'm super thrilled because honestly, look at Mangle's comps. By the way, he has the Halo comp left. He also has the staple Mangle comp available, kind of the heavy DOTs, heavy stress. I mean, like, if you are to take 2 games in a series, you really take those 2 comps and do it. I feel like if you're Mangle, so Cherry right now, I feel like she might be terrified coming into this fight, because I don't think they ever fought against. She has ever, had the opportunity to fight against Mangle. And, honestly, I fought against her. Every single time I meet the man on the ladder, I just feel so scared. Like, my morale just drops to 0, and I get afflicted instantly, because this man is just probably one of those guys who has the highest game sense I have ever seen or experienced in the Butcher's Circus. Or any other game at that, honestly. He's just absolutely crazy. We're going to into game number 2, guys. So stay tuned. We see Cherry versus Mangle. And Mangle does actually, I'm just going to mark this on the scoreboard, Mangle does have a 1-0 lead right now. He only needs to win 2 more matches. Whereas if Cherry drops this one, she will be at match point in this semi-final. What do you make of this comp by Cherry?
So looking at the comp, we had seen it the previous day in her match versus CEST, and we've just shown it to be, very powerful. It's very similar to the Halo comp, though. Instead of having a Crusader, there is the Flagellant, meaning you won't get stuns, however, you will get a lot more control. Being able to reliably target the backline with a lot of stress and a lot of damage over time, alongside the, having the healing of the Exsanguinate and the Redeem to help keep your characters alive. The heal used on the Crusader, it's only ever used to keep people out of death's door. Meanwhile, Flagellant's heal can actually be used to get people back to full.
The uppercut does actually come down here.
We see Cherry go for an uppercut. Yeah. Already, looking at Mangled comps, thinking what she needs to do to win, and assessing a major threat in the Flagellant, being able to shut down those Reign of Sorrows immediately.
Yeah, absolutely. This is such a big pivotal moment for Cherry, because she's able to take over this fight right now. She has definitely the momentum coming into the matchup. And this comp, by the way, has been used to such great effect by both Cherry and CEST yesterday. And you actually saw this probably being a bit better than Halo comp itself, because this Flagellant provides so much pressure, so much cool pressure really, to its user, that it's just such a scary thing to be facing up against. Because the Flagellant, unlike the Crusader, has so much damage, seriously raw damage coming, okay, not really raw, but the DOTs that he's able to stack are absolutely ridiculous. And obviously going against the Antiquarian, this Blight from Hemlock might be wasted, but still the bleeds alone are just, they mount up to some ridiculous numbers. You have to just feel that, the crit also landing.
Already we see
everything lands
on the Antiquarian, applying both bleed and blight.
Yeah. Everything comes through.
Cherry is at such a major advantage, and it's not even done with the first turn yet. She still has a Jester and an Arbalest active.
Yeah. So, obviously, very advantageous opener here for Cherry coming into this match here. We have to feel like she did definitely take lead in turn number 1. Obviously, this is not over. Mangle actually responds in kind. 2 crits landing across the board on Cherry's side. So, we see this Handmaster really paying dividends. The command action, the 4% crit buff, a lot of accuracy buffed as well across the board for Mangle's characters is really something huge. And something to be reckoned with if you're Cherry, because this Handmaster, if left unchecked, will really shred your team to pieces. Obviously, if you're a Cherry, by the way, nothing is stopping you from consistently punishing this Flagellant, right? So she can just consistently push the guy back to the third row with this BH every single time he moves. The question is like that: is she really willing to make the trade-off here? Because you really want to be using this BH to mark people, to deliver some damage on them as well. And this basically means that, consistently using this uppercut might just prove to be something that Mangle actually doesn't mind, because he is the Flagellant able to redeem still. I feel like he's okay with the, kind of trading of the turns here. Obviously, this one isn't optimal right now, but 10 number 2, I actually feel like this Flagellant might just be okay. Though, if you do use the uppercut again, this does indeed daze the Flagellant. This means that, if you are able to focus a lot of damage, funnel a lot of damage onto this character, if you're Cherry right now, you actually might be able to get the kill there. So it might be forcing a guard from Mangle here.
Right, just simply having that Jester present, makes it so that no matter how much HP you have, you always have to wonder if it's enough, Just having the threat of the finale there is just so massive,
Yeah.
And the Flagellant now is guarded. However, you have to remember, Dirk Stab is able to pierce this guard, and that may be enough to, if not put him to death's door, make it so that when he's activated, he will be put there because of the damage over time applied by Cherry's own Flagellant.
Yeah, but still, you can just use the redeem, right? This Anticorin's still not doing too hot either, so I feel like you're okay with just dropping the redeem here, healing. So I feel like if you're Mangle, you have only one turn order available here. So just activate the Anticorin, take all this punishing DOT stacked upon you, then you just activate the Flagellant, heal to full HP. You are mostly okay, right? Obviously, a lot of momentum in Cherry's favor right now. She might, however, have to indeed cleanse those debuffs very soon, because those bellows will be coming down eventually, and she will be forced. Okay, there are actually 0 bellow stacks right now.
Yeah,
so
there are currently 0 bellows on the field.
I'm actually wrong. So we see regen actually coming from Mangle here, which doesn't quite balance out the DOTs overall, but at least stops them in their tracks, right? So maybe this will just buy enough time for Mangle to get some semblance of control. I very much so
disagree with this passive play of going for the regenerative vapors. Not only does Cherry have arguably the best damage over time dealer in the game in the Flagellant, but she also has a Jester, and not only that, both of them have Hemlock, and all that combined just creates so much damage over time that the regen could never hope to outpace it and can only hope to slow it down. But because of the Jester's ability to, be able to just kill anyone if they're, anywhere close to 0 HP, I don't know if that's going to pan out for her.
Yeah, you do have a clear redeem target about it, so this definitely is going to be a wasted redeem. You really want to have it available right now. This is a full 48 crit, by the way, that heals the Flagellant to full HP, and I feel like Mangle is kind of comfortable with this so far. Obviously Cherry in a perhaps driver's seat, but it's not all over for Mangle yet.
It may not be all over, however, it is undeniable that Cherry is very much so holding a major advantage at this point. The Flagellant on the side of Mangle has not been able to do a single thing this game, not apply a single punish, not a single Rain of Sorrows. All he's been able to do is apply a single redeem, and because of that, he's not going to be able to do anything this turn. He'll be stuck to just simply move forward.
Yeah. But when you look at the Houndmaster, by the way, of Mangles here, he's been able to do a lot of damage across the board. He has been stacking those bleeds reliably, hitting every single Hound's Harry. So this might be the saving grace for Mangle in this one, right? So this might just mean that the Houndmaster is, left unchecked for the duration of the fight, perhaps, because, Cherry is focusing other characters. By the way, we don't see Cherry moving forward with this Jester, so there is no way for her to finale this turn still, which is
well, you have to remember that it is still possible to finale. She's able to just simply move the Bounty Hunter back one and then go for the finale.
Yeah, but we haven't seen her do this before. Well, I'm kind of curious if she does realize she can do this, because she might just go for this Antiquarian right now. She's kind of open to damage, like she might just do the move here. I'd probably do this if I were her. We also see a crit come through, so this does take the Antiquarian to 0.
Back into 0 HP.
Yeah, you can just slide back and be fine, right? There is nothing really preventing her from doing so. And then, if you're stealthed, there's, again, nothing that can harm you this turn. So if you just go to take cover here, I feel like she's just perfectly safe in the back row. And then also getting this bonus Devil Resistance is quite huge, because this means that this BH is no longer going to be able to just kill the Antiquarian off with the Caltrops, or at least is unlikely to do so. 95 Devil Res, fairly high of a number, so yeah. All there is, really.
Right, I'd argue that is a definite misplay from Cherry, just simply having the ability to capitalize on your Jester's finale so early on and just, get that extra turn of momentum, but just simply not taking it. Though she does now go for the solo, very much so, clearly doesn't want anything to happen to the Jester, though Mangle doesn't have any real way of controlling it.
No.
There's no stun on the Houndmaster, there's, as far as I'm aware, no Rampart on the Man-at-Arms, so you have to wonder if just simply going for a Dirk Stab would have been better.
Yeah, that's true. So also, I mean, this kind of gives you a lot of crit chance. I feel like Mangle now in kind of a precarious position because this Houndmaster is very likely to die right now. So he drops dodge buff. Yeah, I can't agree with this. I feel like if you were just to drop the lick wounds, he might have been a bit more beneficial. I feel like Mangle is just afraid of the flare, right? He's just afraid of the flare. But he might not realize he could as well just lose this Houndmaster from the get-go. Cherry goes for the flare here. Which was kind of preempted, by the way, by Mangle, so there is no real threat here coming into this one for... Yeah, I feel like the only threat right now for Mangle is this crit finale, perhaps, on the Houndmaster. This is only 10-3, so there are only 2 stacks of finale damage on the Jester, so probably not enough damage altogether. Might be just, Mangle just might be okay here, honestly.
It is potential, but, without seeing the damage values themselves, there's no real way to know at the moment, We just
might see sniper shots.
Arbalist most likely going to go for a sniper shot.
Oh, this doesn't land. I mean, kind of unlikely to get a killing blow here, honestly, because she has still the buff from the take cover.
She does still have that, though. You have to remember the extra 30% death blow chance on the sniper shot when the target is marked. So I'd say that was roughly a 50-50 shot.
A bit less than that, I feel like. No, it's 50-50 when it's just marked. She, this is basically what, I feel like this was a... 70-80% chance to resist the death, so kind of unlikely for that thing to come through. Also, we see the mark removed, which is very important because this means that this Antiquarian right now is relatively safer. The only thing that can really threaten her are those caltrops from Cherry, which she probably doesn't even have. Oh, never mind, she does have the caltrops, and she does get the death blow here. That's a killing blow indeed. And this is kind of big right now for Cherry, right? Because getting this kill obviously gives you a lot of momentum in this matchup. Still, the finale on the cards. And I don't think there is enough regen on Mangle's sides to actually just secure this this character right now. So, yeah, we might just see another kill coming through. 9 DOT on this Houndmaster, still 120% damage buff on the Jester. So it is looking quite scary. I'm not gonna lie, it's looking quite scary for
at 14 health.
Mangle
I believe
now.
That Jester has a very real chance to kill, if I recall correctly, more than a 50% chance because of the damage roll.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm kind of surprised because I expected Mangle to take over with this composition specifically, whereas I didn't see it happen. I actually didn't expect Mangle to lose with this one and win with the previous one. You see a clean finale come through as well from Cherry. So she does secure that, because this probably means that the game is kind of over, right? So Cherry did lose game 1, but it looks like she's going to be able to take game 2 in the series.
Exactly. Very clear here that Cherry does not want to go down without a fight. She's here to prove herself, and she is here to win. She does not want to just simply go down without at least landing a couple blows back.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, this is going to be an even one right now, so we'll see even series 1-1. And this kind of means, Cherry definitely not in a losing position. We saw, Mangle taking over the previous game. It feels like his game sense is just impeccable. Right here, he just didn't quite stand a chance, because Cherry was playing her moves as well in a very, very
play
decent
there, going for the
fashion,
Exsanguinate. Not only does it put the Flagellant down to Death's Door, healing the rest of the team, but the Exsanguinate itself is also able to then heal up the Flagellant back after he took the riposte and apply the additional bleed to the Man-at-Arms. Fantastic play from Cherry.
Yeah, absolutely. You just have to commend her for just doing all the right moves here. So she anticipates what is going to, the outcome of the riposte potentially. She just goes for the right thing, right move here, and she does indeed get full AoE healing across the board, which means that, she's just in a very safe spot right now. She just needs to deal with the Flagellant potentially, and then slowly but steadily take down the MAA as well. Obviously, another thing is this MAA has not really been able to stack a lot of stress here. He's also bleeding, and he's blighted quite heavily, so he might just go down next turn, and this means that Cherry definitely going to take this one. Unless she just makes a very big mistake right now, you just have to feel this is her game to lose.
Okay. We see another defender come out onto the Man-at-Arms, trying to protect the Flagellant. It's a very interesting play. He's most likely just trying to buff up his damage, but he has so much dots on him that I don't think that'll end up mattering. What do you think, Mike?
No, I really don't think so either. It just feels like, Mangle is just trying to salvage this in whatever way he finds suitable, but it just looks kind of unsalvageable, honestly. He has lost way too many characters way too soon. Getting those death blows by Cherry, obviously a very big deal. The finale, the death blow on this Antiquarian, which was, I feel like, about 50-50, right, was very fortunate for her. But I wouldn't put this on luck side. She did all those right things.
This was just Cherry playing extremely well this game.
It was just kind of fair RNG altogether, just resulting in a dead in two very quick kills. And if you stress, you really don't want to lose too many characters too soon. Obviously, still this MEA able to drop another bellow, but it just doesn't seem to be enough, right? It just doesn't seem to be enough at all.
Right. We see the Jester going for a second solo, just getting back to a position where they can... Well, not even so much getting back in a position, because they're able to Dirk Step no matter what. The main reason for that is most likely just simply, getting that extra dodge now at 42, as well as being outside the range of the Rain of Sorrows, making it so that Mangled won't be able to apply as much pressure while also killing the Jester.
Yeah. By the way, thank you for the follow, Spill2Free, my man. Guys, if you would like to follow this stream right now, it would be really glorious, because we're trying to build a community here. We have a very, very large number of people actually participating in Discord discussions as well, so I'm just going to kind of butt in. Drop the links on the chat, guys. Join the Discord channel, be a part of this, because I feel like this game is kind of sold, so we might just kind of talk about the channel for a little bit at least. So sorry about the small distraction. We're just gonna go and see Cherry massacring the MEA of Mangle right here, right now. With this finish him, 100% kill chance probably coming into this one, so a very decent setup for Cherry, really. You just have to see this being absolutely over right now. I don't see this kind of being any different result right now. I feel like Mangle just hasn't been able to deliver enough stress, and this just means that this is game over almost, right? He just wasn't able to execute his game plan, and Cherry played very well against his win conditions, and this means that this is just game over.
Right.
Yeah, we just kind of have to wait for her to finish the job right now, honestly, because Mangle, not a man who gives up. And we have actually seen this Flagent perform in a very surprising fashion. You take over games, which looked unwinnable really for him. So you might just see maybe Mangle is just waiting, because Cherry kind of was seen making those big mistakes in the end game stages of the fight, right? So she's been able to get the games to the closing point. And then she did falter in the end. So in a couple of situations where she was just kind of drop those games, where she probably was able to just get those clean wins if she had played her cards, right? So maybe Mangle is just kind of banking on that right now. Obviously, it will take multiple mistakes from Cherry, and Cherry is such a good player. She probably has been improving, on a in a day-to-day fashion as well. So you really probably don't expect her to falter right now at such a pivotal moment in the series, which will bring her to 1-1. And this will really make Mangle reconsider certain things.
Thank you for the stream.
Spill, my man, thank you for $5 donation. Guys, please cheer for Spill right now. We got the first donation of the day, first donation of the tournament as well. Such a beautiful thing, guys. Thank you so much, Spill, for that. What a lovely, lovely gift. I really appreciate that, my man. I really do appreciate that. You have no idea how valuable this is to me. But we see Mangle actually carry on with those exsanguinates. So he is indeed staying in this fight, regardless of the fact that he's definitely in a losing position. He's considering, just giving up here, probably a right thing to do. But again, we have seen Cherry obviously make quite a few mistakes. So we might, I really don't know about this. It looks like 1% chance to win this. We don't see many afflictions across those. Maybe if Cherry was heavily afflicted there, a single character might have just gone for go berserk, afflicted, attacking his allies and do something crazy here. But I just don't see this happening right now. Especially we have two healers available for Cherry here. It's it just doesn't look likely. So maybe Mangle just needs time to think, by the way. This is something you really have to consider as well. It's best of 5 series, and you just want to take your time right now, just kind of considering your mistakes, perhaps just re-strategizing, thinking, by the way, about what you're going to do in your next matchup, because every single game matters so much right now. So I feel like Mangle just might be strategizing, taking his time, biding his time really right now, just trying to figure out what exactly he can do to defeat Cherry in game number 3 of the series. We see 30 heal, by the way. Oh, this is going to be such a long one, seriously. Mangle really...
I mean, like you mentioned, for Mangle this can be very good, just having that extra time to think, strategize, just try and come up with something that you can do in the following games just to try and, confirm a victory, thinking about, the matchups that he has left, just all the comps that Cherry has available to herself, and just trying to make, potentially even flowcharts in his head of just, like, okay, she does this move, I do this, just trying to think of how to respond to every possible scenario.
And Mangle is no not to tilt, by the way. Mangle is one of those people who doesn't care, one of those people who don't care, sorry. And he really doesn't give a crap about, losing games and, just being behind. I feel like he's one of those most contained, most stable players. So, yeah, he might just be able to get this right now. Like, just coming into game 2, he's just kind of slowly... coming to game 3, he'll just kind of slowly lose this one, think about all his strategic possibilities as well, and maybe tilt Cherry as well, because it's kind of annoying, fighting a Flagellant because like ton of Exsanguinates. That feels like this is like 6% X-Sang this game, by the way. This Flash has been alone for like 5 turners, I feel like 4 or 5
right, I think this
altogether.
Is the first time I've ever seen 6 Exsanguinates in a game.
Yeah, and I feel like this is it. Obviously, Cherry's BH 100% kill chance right now, so we just wait for the kill to be confirmed. A Dex Stab actually coming through.
There it is.
And that's it for Mangle. By the way, Cherry's BH does not have the finisher. He carries the he was carrying the Heartseeker only. So kind of a peculiar choice here. So let's go to picks and bans. Let's have a look at the available team compositions for both players. So right now Cherry no longer able to use this composition with a Jest and Flagellant. So we are basically down to pure stress for Cherry, whereas Mangle has the Flagellant comp still on the cards once again. And I feel like this does very well against those slower stress compositions. So
just
again,
looking at the 2 comps that Mangle has available to him, I'd say that they most likely just hold the winning matchup against the stress comps. Not only is Famine just having that Flagellant there, just being able to also have the Antiquarian to regen up, but I think we've seen enough of the Halo comp already to know how well it does when it's faced up against stress.
Yeah. Emo Wiznome, thank you for the follow, my man. Guys, you're following en masse today. I'm very much appreciative of that. Thank you, guys. I really love all that stuff. So, yeah, as far as the question coming from the audience from Zoko, Death was banned, War won a fight, so War was also disabled. So right now we see 2 compositions available each, and we're just waiting for those players to make their choices. I am ready for the game, so once Mangle does decide to start, and once Cherry does make her decisions as well, we are good to go, guys. I feel like Cherry might have disconnected as well, so this might take a little bit.
Yeah, there was an unfortunate disconnect.
And that's actually fine by me, because I really want to take time considering like what exactly we might see coming from Cherry and Mangle into game number 3, which will set either of those people to match point, right? So one of them will have a decisive lead in the series, and will be basically a single game away from taking over, whereas the other will be in a very sketchy position because they will need to win 2 games in a row right now. Obviously knowing exactly what their opponent will be using, but still winning 2 games in a row, not an easy thing to do.
Right. Just, like the pressure that's on you, especially when you know that not only have you lost once but twice, and just a single more and you're completely out of it. Just the pressure that's applied on someone, can really weigh down on their decision making and cause them to make rash decisions.
Yeah, I mean, if you're Mangle, you don't care. I think Cherry might be a bit more emotional of a player overall. I feel so.
I mean, hey, I wish I could have a mentality as unshakable as that.
I'm a tilter, man. I'm a huge tilter, so I totally feel out to those people who kind of fall, back like under pressure, right? So yeah, I feel like we are just kind of trying to get the connection coming once again into this one. So yeah, the players are getting ready in the lobby, but I do tend to tilt. I feel like a lot of people are very much prone to this. And yeah, I just kind of am unable. I mean, depending really on the game as well, because when I was playing Clash in League of Legends, I feel I was doing very well on the team. But I do tilt when I'm like left alone with the game sometimes. I do feel like I do make more mistakes when I'm under pressure altogether. So yeah, it's definitely the case here as well. I feel for many of these players who were able to perform very well all together, but then I kind of faltered maybe in the group stages, looking at you, Shepard, for instance, where I felt like Shepard was probably going to be one of those people whom you would expect to take over the entire tournament. I heard like Shepard might have been in contention, for the first spot here, and he just dropped 2 games, like 2 very big matchups yesterday, and just completely got obliterated by both Cherry and CEST. So kind of unfortunate, honestly, for seeing Cetra go so soon. Because I feel like, Cetra was in a very decent spot to take over the tournament. Also, Adelbart, probably same deal for him. Like, he had like such excellent game sense, coming into those group stages, and then he faltered as well, probably just, you know, faced with multiple games all together, you know, like a lot of pressure, a lot of also effort, mental effort, right? Because those are very long days. The group stages, you know, 5 hours long sometimes for those players. Definitely something also for us casters too. But you know, you have to really consider that being the player in such circumstances, being forced to take multiple series in a row, definitely kind of a scary thing. So I feel like that's exactly the problem here, right? Just this amount of pressure is going to be just kind of mounting up, and is going to be quite detrimental for both those players. So both we can see like a lot of these disconnections, by the way, by Trace. So those guys are unable to initiate a matchup, which we might just kind of have to wait for. You know, the Butcher Circus can be sometimes kind of fucky. You have to just kind of say that, being like very much an improvement of what we saw at the start. Like, you know, these things being gone, the games being very stable as well, very few crashes. Everybody just being able to go into the lobbies and just get those games going. I think I had like a single crash in the entire duration of the second season altogether. So very stable client overall now, but you know, those connections between players obviously might just not be even related to the Butcher Circus alone. This might be just the one of the players, maybe, you know, network settings or something, just being the cause here. We might see, you know, the match being finally initiated right now. We'll just have to wait. So yeah, it might just be a game on our hands very, very soon right now. I'm very excited. By the way, once we see the compositions, I would like all of you guys on the chat as well, engage here, spam one of those two, what do you call it, call to arms perhaps, for either Cherry or for Mangle. So, you know, here is the call for Mangle, here is the call for Cherry, guys. If you're trying to root for either of those players, please feel free, nobody will ban you for doing this. You can abuse the smashes in the chat, just drop those, take my energy, copy paste those things, and let's see who has bigger following, whether this is Cherry or whether this is indeed Mangle. We'll just tally up the votes very soon, guys, so just get engaged. Chat, please vote for those players. They really would appreciate your energy as well, I feel. So we have like very, very good vibes in the chat right now, I feel. And we see a lot of people actually voting for both Mangle and Cherry. I feel like Mangle has a very slight lead here. Okay, not actually decisive lead in the chat. No,
I'd say Mangle has a very slight lead. However, I'd say he more so just has one very passionate follower.
Yeah, absolutely. Mangle is getting a lot of spam from Zoka alone. In fact, we are ready. We are ready, guys. Game number 3, probably the pivotal moment in the series, because this will decide about like as to who is able to take the lead in the series, as who is just going to be this kind of this underdog potentially coming into the match number 4. So I'm very hyped to see this one happen right now, guys. I hope so are you. We are 1-1, very close matches so far. Let's see how those compositions pan out against one another. If you were to vote, by the way, sis, right now, looking at those compositions, knowing what you saw so far, who would you say is going to take the series?
Oh boy, I mean, if we're just talking about that, I would personally have to vote for Mangle. Just his remaining compositions are all so powerful that, and you know, they've shown themselves to have such good matchup against Stress that we don't know if Cherry's going to be able to end up pulling it out.
Yeah. By the way, Mangle actually reselects the same composition once again. I feel like he just believes that, you know, this comp is most likely to just take over once again. He thinks like this is probably my best bet at taking the match right now. And yeah, he's just going for it. Like Flagellant, obviously known for being this ridiculously powerful damage dealer, and you know, having so much pressure into those series is very pivotal. We can see also Sleepy Cherry going for a push potential in the Flag. She might get this. She does have any movement trinkets. She gets it in the end. Yeah, crazy stuff actually. So very fortunate for her, honestly, getting every single push here. I would like to see the trinkets on this A-bomb. By the way, I'm not really sure if, you know, she has all those movement trinkets stacked up or not. I would really like to have them if I'm Cherry, by the way, because you are facing those Flagellants. You really want to be prepared for that.
Yeah, here we see the Wretched Cloak and the Padlock, meaning that she does have an extra 50% move chance alongside, you know, just more power on her melee attacks and the extra bleed to disable her fly.
Yeah. We see, you know, her going across the board with Mangle going across the board with those Hounds Harrys once again. So he will be applying a lot of pressure. Obviously, though, eliminating this Flagellant. I feel like this might have been a small mistake by Mangle. Maybe just getting those bleeds going from the very first turn on might have been a better choice. So perhaps just going with the Flagellant from the get-go, just dropping those Reigns of Sorrows on the back row from the start of the fight might have given him like a slight momentum lead. We see a stunning blow come down as well. This is reposted quite heavily, by the way, by Mangle, but the stun does come down. So this MA right now kind of disabled for the time being. Obviously, Mangle can start stacking those regions right now as well, because Sleepy Cherry's composition here coming to this particular match will mean that, you know, there's both damage and stress coming down. So obviously the Z disc come very powerful, very potent. Yeah, that's just something you have to consider.
Exactly, yeah, it's just able to apply so much stress, but even despite that, you know, being able to do so much damage and just apply a lot of pressure towards Mangle, you know, having that Abomination and Crusader both doing so much damage, both doing so much stress, having the damage over time to get some reliable bleeds down with the Houndmaster, and then also, you know, having Man-at-Arms being able to bellow just gets so much stress stacked. Like, both players very clearly have extremely powerful comps, and it'll be interesting to see how they match up against each other. Right now, Cherry very clearly seems to be taking a lead, though it's really hard to count Mangle out this early, especially when there's no Jester on the field to take advantage of a low health Flagellant.
Yeah. I mean, we might see just Mangle going for an Exsanguinate very early on. Like, you might just go Exsanguinate this Abomination, put some pressure on the cards, because I feel like he really needs to do this. He needs to make this. I'm kind of surprised he goes for that, actually, because I'd
actually say that's a very intelligent play. Just simply removing the stun of the Man-at-Arms, making it so that his riposte comes back up, and Cherry will, you know, take heavy riposte damage if she wants to try and go for the Houndmaster or even Zealous Accusation.
I mean, I want to see the Exsanguinate so early because, you know, Abomination, surprisingly squishy character. You drop this X-Sang right now. This is probably, I feel like 9 or 6 bleed per turn. I'm not really sure. Like, ridiculous amount
if
anyway.
If I recall correctly, it is 9 bleed a turn.
So it's so scary to be... Punish might be 6, right? So if you just go for this Exsanguinate right now for Mangle, I think you just get a lot done throughout those turns. And yeah, it's just such a scary prospect, right? I'm kind of surprised he doesn't go for this again, because you risk, you know, getting set back by a fair bit if you're Mangle right now. This push might just come through.
He is instead choosing to play a bit more passively with his Antiquarian. You know, we still see that it has the finisher and the tears, meaning that it'll be able to heal a lot and pick up the kill when it's necessary. So, you know, clearly just wants to make it so that she has time, so that he has time to just, you know, like, try and get everything set up, get his damage over time with the Houndmaster and the Flagellant, and just, you know, keep themselves alive.
This is only 25% chance to resist movement, by the way, because the Abel is indeed using the padlock here, so this is quite a decent resistance chance here. Sorry, so low resistance chance for Mangle. He gets it finally, because you feel like this, you know, Cherry has been playing ping pong with this Flagellant for the duration of the series so far, and right now she kind of gets the footing finally in the fight. Obviously, this day is probably kind of going to hurt him in the end, might just, you know, might cost him the Flagellant's life, perhaps even. Another big deal for Cherry is that she's able to probably start using this as accusation here, you know, to get this stress lead coming into this fight. She did land, Mangle did land both Bleed and Blight on this A-Bomb, however, so this is 11 DOT altogether. That's a lot of pressure.
As soon as he activates.
So this A-Bomb probably, like, wants to transform back to human now, get, you know, ready for the second rotation of Hara, which might be kind of an issue right now, because he might be, you know, Cherry might just be forced to transform out and heal outright. This is something you really don't want to happen. By the way, Mangle kind of anticipating the riposte from the MAA, and dropping those regions initially might just give him a decent lead later on down the line, because this means like he will not be
the only real damage over time that Cherry is able to apply is through the Houndmaster, and unfortunately for her, the Rejuvenating Vapors are actually able to outpace that when it's alone.
Yeah. And Mangle, I feel like Mangle has a lead coming into this one, and he has been able to do so much damage here. Obviously, the stun might just come down as well. It does indeed, and this means this Flagellant is stunned and dazed. Something you really don't want to have happen to your Flagellant, by the way, guys. So it is a scary prospect right now. Obviously, no real finishers on Cherry's side, so, you know, losing this Flagellant, kind of not a likely scenario, but it is on the cards. You know, those 4 characters might just spike up you with the damage so much that you eventually do end up losing the the Flash into some unlikely
and now,
or
as soon as the
unlucky
Abomination activates,
finisher.
they're going to be sent to death's door, meaning that if they want to survive, then they're going to have to just transform and go for an absolution, which, while it does allow them to, you know, maintain the cycle of just rotating in and out of the beast form to get the horror stack, it's very passive play. You know, she's not able to get a stun. She's not in position to go for a riposte at the beast pile.
Yeah.
And it will force her to just play very defensively and hesitate on activating the Abomination.
Yeah, also this means that the 10 number 5 then, when she transfers back to beast form, she'll be at 0 HP guaranteed, right? So there's also quite a worrisome prospect for Cherry. Even if she heals with Absolution right now, this A-bomb is never ever going to be at full HP ever again, right? She will be consistently at death's door every single turn, and this is just such a scary situation right now. Also, this means that Mangle can probably just guard this. If he's afraid of losing this flagellant, he might just guard this and he'll be just perfectly safe and sound. Because there is no way in hell that Cherry does go for a slam here. Obviously, especially against this Antiquarian, who is indeed using the finisher here. This is something I've been actually preaching in my streams as well. If you have an Antiquarian on this highly aggressive DOT team, take the freaking finisher on her. It is so efficient at just getting, if you do a lot of AoE damage over time, you will have a lot of situations in which you end up, being able to potentially finish off multiple targets on the same turn. Obviously, going against the MAA here on Cherry's side might put stop to this, because, every single bellow stack means you do less damage, and this means that, a very low base damage on the Antiquarian might just get nullified completely. So that's something that is on the cards.
And just seeing the Antiquarian in these matchups, like where the composition is very heavily focused on DOT, truthfully, it reminds me a lot of actually how Bounty Hunter is played by most people. Just being able to be a very supportive character, though, in different ways. Bounty Hunter is able to move a lot with the uppercut and the come hither, while the Antiquarian is just able to heal.
Yeah, that's true.
It feels as if, they're almost two sides of the same coin.
Yeah, when you look, by the way, at this MAA here by Mangle, he has been able to consistently threaten the backline of Cherry, because this Houndmaster hasn't taken any Reigns of Sorrows this game. He was only punished by the Houndmaster of Mangle and by this very heavy riposte of the MAA. It's very
big. We see Cherry go for a very
risky
aggressive
as hell.
play, trying to go for the Manacles, though I don't think that's going to pay off. She does have the chance to heal with the Crusader, though, but we don't know if that's going to be enough, since just a simple punish or a simple retribution may be enough to put him back down into death's door.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of a decent move, because this means that, this Crusader had nothing better to do. Because he couldn't stun anybody. This MA 125% stun rest, this Flagellant 105. Very unlikely to get either of those. So maybe that's actually okay. Getting the stun, getting some sort of a footing into this turn number 4 might have actually been a decent call by Cherry. I don't disagree with this at all. I feel like this is kind of a good decision by her to just do this.
I agree.
And yeah, I feel like this is the best thing she could have done there. This is very good. I feel like Cherry is just playing out of her mind. She's so good. Seriously, she is way better than we had anticipated. By the way, this Houndmaster really hurt right now, so she might just be forced to heal. And I don't think this pressure stops coming.
Cherry is very much so just on a heavy back foot,
Yeah.
She's forced to conserve the Crusader's turn so that it's able to heal the Abomination. The Man-at-Arms Bellow debuff isn't enough to, stop Mangled from doing anything. Just like overall, Cherry just isn't able to push any tempo right now.
Yeah. There's a lot of stress on Mangle, though. Maybe not enough. I feel like this might not be enough, because
there is a good amount of stress, but it's not enough for an Affliction, and if you don't have an Affliction, then the stress is basically useless at the moment.
Yeah, with the Zediscom specifically, the one that Cherry is using here, you really want to have at least a single or double afflicted character by the end of turn 3, which isn't obviously the case, because the Crusader has been under such heavy pressure. Like, I feel like Mangle specifically has been adept at controlling this Crusader across those games that he has been in. The Shieldbreaker play comes to mind, although also here right now, he's been able to just kind of get rid of this Crusader, force him to do something else than just being able to, consistently dish out those stuns and those accusations. And yeah, this just feels like Mangle's game to lose right now. Obviously, those afflictions might come into play right now. A single one comes down already. But there is so much pressure, frankly, coming from Mangle's composition here that it just looks insurmountable for Cherry. Because this is turn 4, we have like a lot of low HP characters. This Crusader, really, you would not expect a Crusader to be so low on HP, and he is, because he did hit a lot of those reposted, a lot of this reposted MAA as well, so that is
exactly just scary. Like through this, we've seen just how powerful Man-at-Arms is through the riposte, most people just think of Man-at-Arms as a Bello bot, but they've proved that Riposte is just as good, if not even potentially better than Bello.
Yeah. Zero damage doesn't really hurt you. You really want to land those bleeds and blights. I feel like he gets everything, like every single stack. So this Handmaster very unlikely to be able to act without, risking the death here. So this may be very, like, Cherry's forced to play extremely passive game right now, and you really don't want to be doing this if you're stressed. Obviously, this MAA of Cherry quite healthy, but this might change very soon because those DUTs are coming down. I'm actually quite surprised not to see the Grave Robber composition from Mangle, because this one was very good at targeting MAAs as well, Those panic darts with Grave Robber, he traded the GR for Houndmaster, basically that's how it goes. So I'm kind of surprised not to see the Grave Robber on this one here, because I feel like going into the matchups against those very tanky comps, the Grave Robber is actually able to dismantle those super tanky, super healthy targets by just, consistently dropping those darts. And doing heavy stress damage.
Even beyond the darts, just having the pick to the face, being able to completely bypass protection.
Oh, that's a death blow!
Yep, and there we go. We see the death blow was in Mangled's favor to get it, and with that, Cherry's now at an even bigger disadvantage than she already was.
Mangle just brings such a powerful comp to the table, you have to feel. And again, Mangle is probably the best player on Flagell we have ever seen in this tournament, and maybe we have ever seen altogether.
We've seen such powerful comps from Mangle, but he only has to get one more win with his last comp, and we know for a fact that he has been saving the best for last, seeing the Halo comp be as a final trump card.
I hope so anyway. I hope he has any practice on that one, because I feel like many players have been basically just using this comp as a ban that just kind of comes down and it is taken away. Obviously, we know that that Halo comp is very decent about what Cherry has on the table right now, so this composition we see right now by Cherry is maybe not countered by Halo's comp, but this is at least an even mashup. So knowing that the caliber of a player that Mangle is, we might just see her kind of take over there, right, as well. So it's kind of a scary prospect facing two games against against Halo's composition here. If you're Cherry, if you lose this one, because I feel like she's just going to take a loss here, is a very, very scary prospect altogether.
Yeah. Just everything we've seen come down from Mangle has just been excellently placed, just made some absolutely fantastic plays, and because of that, Cherry just hasn't had any breathing room. She hasn't even made any, large misplays, which is just such a large testament to how skilled Mangle is and how powerful the comps that he brought are.
Yeah, guys, remember on the chat, you can spam Cherry take my energy or Mangle take my energy. Zelko, please stop spamming alone. Guys, you can support your players right now. You can show them that you really care for them, right? Just go ahead. I'm not going to punish you for spamming today. It's perfectly fine by me. All the energy you have, guys, those guys can really use this. Those guys and gals actually can definitely use all your support, all your moral support, really. So I'm just very much looking forward to you guys just supporting your fan favorites here. And yeah, I'm very excited for Cherry actually here. I feel like she might still be able to pull it off in the series. Like we can never really rule her out. She has shown so much fortitude yesterday, and she will just be able to do it again, I feel.
Reeling, gasping.
So obviously right now, Cherry at a very big disadvantage. Mangle bringing her to match point, and a single win probably will be dividing him and him from just going to the finals and facing the winner. Guys, this is another exciting thing. If you win this, you face the winner of you face the winner of CEST versus SBRH, and you really don't want to be facing any of those people. Seriously,
right.
This is like such a crazy final.
One could argue that the loser of this match may be a winner in their own right, just because they don't have to deal with that.
Yeah, because those guys were playing like freaking bots. We saw CEST yesterday really play a crazy series after series, just dismantling those very proficient players here. And yeah, this is just it. By the way, Zoko, no, if we are at 2-2, still they will have a single composition left. Both of them will have a single comp left, so they will just perfectly know what they'll be facing, so they'll be able to just adjust the trinkets, adjust the positioning as well. But we'll never get to, unlock the band comps now. Because we have 4 decks per player, and one of them is banned, so there are 3 compositions available for each player. This means that there is enough for the entire best of 5. This is very, this format has been worked out by us, to a very large extent, so we just know exactly what's gonna happen here. This will be quite likely, 2v2, 2-2 ending to the series, and we might just see Game 5. I'm very excited to see that, by the way, guys. I'm very excited to see Game 5 in the end. Because those Game 5s, just such an exciting thing. I really love watching. I still watch League of Legends esports sometimes, and those silver scrapes playing by the end, just watching those final matchups there. This is a stun by Afflicted Stun. This is kind of looking quite sketchy from Mangle, honestly, on this turn. But this is just such an exciting moment, guys, to have the final match of best of 5.
But who knows, if the Afflictions keep coming out, there is still potential.
Yeah. Maybe not much potential, but still there is some, right?
Not improbable, but possible.
Potential at all. Yeah, it's kind of, maybe 5% chance for Cherry to take this, though.
Improbable, but possible.
Yeah. Obviously, the bellows mean that those debuffs are not that likely anymore. This Houndmaster's 60% damage debuff is very significant. There is no way for Mangle to remove those debuffs, by the way, so he might just have to rely on pure stress to take it home. And there is quite a lot of healing, by the way, on the side of Cherry, so it might take a while, at least. And obviously, Afflictions coming to play, you can never read into this fight altogether. Then you have to kind of take into consideration the fact that Mangle's Flagellant is extremely healthy, tanky, has all the tools at his disposal, just probably solo out the 3 characters that Cherry has right now. So it might be kind of scary. Cherry does surrender in the end. It's kind of maybe preemptive, you have to feel, but
one could view it as preemptive, though I personally have to disagree. I'd say that was just so heavily in Mangle's favor that, she just simply doesn't want to waste time. She just, potentially is just trying to, clear her head, just say, okay, I lost the 2 games, I still got this, not wanting to drag it on and make it feel like her loss is just going to keep going on forever.
Yeah, because it is no longer going to take a reverse sweep for Cherry. She needs to win 2 games in a row, not 3. Which is, perfectly fine. Mangle needed to win 2 games before this one, so I feel like they're still very evenly matched coming into game number 4 here. And I'm just very excited to see what exactly comes out of the Conquest composition by Mangle, because he led this one for the end. And I feel like he might have either done this on purpose, because he's very good on this.
I think everyone knows that he did this on purpose.
I'm not sure, because I have a feeling that this is kind of a thing that people do in League of Legends as well. They sometimes, teams leave a very meta pick unbanned, because it's such a meta pick that everybody just bans this, and this means that you really don't get enough practice on the pick. And this might be this, I feel like Mangle might not have enough, expertise on this composition. We usually see him play, those heavy DOT compositions or stress compositions, but he doesn't really play that much of, this direct damage. I'm not sure if he has actually, because playing Mark is a very remarkably different playstyle for everything else that is present in the Butcher's Circus. So maybe, just maybe, you have to hope if you're Cherry, Mangle might not even have practice on this. Because it takes a lot of time at first to kind of adjust your mindset to, kind of taking over the game from game number 1. And yeah, that's just it. This might be a very, very scary situation for Cherry still. And we see Mangle obviously strategizing right now as well. I'm not going to show you guys what he's doing, but he's doing some interesting stuff in terms of, adjusting to what he might be facing in the final game. He knows he'll be playing some iteration of a stress comp, right? There are only 2 compositions available for Cherry, so he'll be playing either the one or the other. By the way, there are no pools on Cherry's side, you have to remember this, guys. So Mangle very much free to take whatever damage trinkets he wants on this Arbalest, for instance, because there is 0 control as far as that comes. For that Arbalest, so Mangle can just go crazy in terms of damage, and he probably will do so, right? You'd expect just Mangle to get perfect read on this situation here, just go for full damage compositions, just maximize the damage output of his characters, and yeah, we might just see. The stream did actually cut off, so
looks like they just had another disconnection.
Yeah, probably Mangle. Maybe
and again,
Mangle experienced a crash.
They're just having it while they're setting up their teams rather than mid-match.
Yeah, and Mangle crashed. I think Mangle crashed. Because he's restarting DD, so this might have been a crash indeed, guys. So it's very exciting. Seriously, this might be a very scary position for Mangle. A very scary position for Cherry as well, because you let a stress comp actually take over you, and you are at a very bad spot. By the way, Cherry lost 2 matches with a stolen from Syscomp so far. What do you make of this, by the way? Because this is a comp that won Sys the tournament before. And right now, Mangle kind of seems to have its number, really. And Cherry still will have to, if she wants to come out victorious from this series, she will have to indeed win with this composition in the end. And Mangle seems to be able to kind of control the pace of the game as far as playing that against that particular composition goes. And he did this with somewhat, I feel like this was the war comp that was kind of inferior to Stolen from Syscomp. So if he is allowed to use Halo's comp twice against either of those comps, I feel like it's just going to be very brutal for Cherry. So it's going to be very difficult matchup for Cherry, obviously. But at the very same time, she knows exactly what she's up against, so she can strategize, perhaps put this Pit Fighter's helmet on the Houndmaster potentially, right? Get some protection going. Make sure that those crits that come down are not lethal from the get-go. I feel like this is an adjustment that you really very much need to do. Also, this lowers the damage potential of the Jester, of the BH as well. So, also the Crusader available for Cherry on Stolen from Syscomp means that, she might take the Belrook of Light, for instance, as well. This is another very strong buff that allows you to extend those fights and just make sure that you are alive for maximum possible period of time here.
Right, that's just something that, we really don't get the chance to see outside of this tournament format, just simply knowing exactly what your opponent is going to be playing, and as such being able to completely counterpick and just play around that, taking skills that some may consider suboptimal, but knowing full well that you'll get immense value out of them just simply because you know exactly what you're going to be facing, what it's going to be doing, and how it's going to be playing.
Yeah, absolutely. Essentially, I'm just gonna take a while. I need to refill my water bottle because I've been drinking a crap load of water this fight. It's just kind of making me sweat as well. So there's such a close matchup. Seriously, I do need to hydrate myself a bit more.
Yeah, after the set ends, I'd say that we should all just go ahead and take a small break before we start up the game between CEST and SBRH.
Okay, guys, by the way, since we're just kind of waiting for the series to start still, I'm just going to drop some spam or just advertise myself a little bit. So guys, I have a membership option available on YouTube. So if you'd like to support my channel, I'd really appreciate that, guys. It costs you $3 per month. You get access to some cool emotes, to access to some cool stream badges. So I really recommend that you guys do this. Obviously, if you haven't yet followed me on Twitch or subscribed to me on YouTube, I do recommend that you guys do that as well. That's kind of important to me, to keep growing, to keep this content coming. I really need to, have this kind of support from the audience as well. Have people subscribing constantly to know that, there are still people interested in my content. So I'd very much appreciate if you haven't done this yet, that you do this now. This being said, also we have a couple of awesome streamers. We had a couple of awesome streamers actually come and cast with me as well. We had Shuffle FM yesterday, so I'm just going to show you the infographic here. We had Shuffle FM cast with me yesterday. We had also Adelbart, who is not on the list here, obviously. We had Spartan participate and get to the second round of qualifiers. We had Code Goliath yesterday, an amazing player altogether, such a great Darkest Dungeon streamer too. We had Zoko Forever as well, who is streaming Butcher Circus, very active on the chat right now. So if you're enjoying Zoko's chat, we can also consider following him right now. We had Mizukan DD as well, a Spanish community member who has been able to provide a lot of tournaments for us in the past, and as well has been providing a lot of cool content on his stream. He has been streaming the Darkest Torturous, the Stygian, I think, difficulty Torturous run before. Guys, this being said, I feel like we're slowly loading into the match, so I'm just going to stop the... Okay, never mind, we're not, so I can continue going. As far as advertising other people goes, with Joe Shatchers will participate, getting killed very early in the tournament still. Quite decent performance by the man, and Life's a Lich as well. Not making it through the qualifiers, but still a very good streamer nonetheless. I recommend that you guys check those people out if you love DD, if you love the Butcher Circus. Your people to watch, obviously. Those are really great people. Also, we have a... sorry, I feel like we might just be going to the match, so I just have to keep checking the Discord channel here. Also, there is Sticky Blad, who was so kind as to provide us with the statistics for the tournament. He will probably be doing so as well throughout it, so I'm just going to advertise him as well. Here is his YouTube channel, guys. Also worth checking out. A lot of cool stuff over there, so just stay tuned for all those people. I feel like they really deserve your follows, your subscriptions. If you love Darkest Dungeon, if you love the Butcher Circus, seriously consider going there as well. There's such awesome people. I would really recommend that you guys do check out Shuffle, by the way, because his casting, guys, was probably he was one of the best casters we've had on stream, right? Definitely the best guest caster ever. Because Silencia says, they've been casting with me since the very start, so those guys know what they're doing. Shuffle FM just comes out of the blue, provides such a diligent, wonderfully contained cast, very detailed remarks as well. He has a lot to say, such a respectful person altogether as well. So really, guys, Shuffle's such an amazing person to follow as well. So yeah, I feel like we're almost done with the advertisement part. I'm kind of drying up on this one, Silentia. So please, I hope that, you know, let's pray to the Butcher Circus client to take us to Game 4 right now. I really would like to get there. Obviously, probably one of those players is having some sort of a desync issue, you know, coming, just not allowing them to initiate a match right now. This was the case before, so obviously just will take a while to fix this for either of the parties. We were able to get 3 matches off, so there is no way in hell we're not going to be able to get the 4th one off as well. So it's just going to be kind of maybe demanding in terms of time, but eventually we will get this match going. Guys, I'm very hyped for this. I hope you guys as well. So please, again, spam for Cherry, spam for Mangle here. Give them your energy, people. You can copy paste those. Cherry, take my energy. Mangle, take my energy. Let's hope we get to Game 5. I'm really rooting for Cherry right now, honestly, because I really would like to see them play the entire series out.
Right,
We're really waiting for them to connect right now. I'm sorry, guys, it's taking a while. It's just how it is sometimes with the, you know, with people trying to organize play online. Sometimes it just really does happen indeed. You can have a look at my face for a while then. Again, I really recommend that you guys do follow, subscribe. Really does me a great honor if you do. We had a lot of subscriptions. Also, it's spilled to free actually support the stream with a donation, which is also amazing, guys. There's a donation link below both YouTube and Twitch, by the way. So if you'd like to support me, like with $2 or $3 or $5, very much appreciated. By the way, I actually have to appreciate Omnipeasant as well, guys, because Omnipeasant, you can just Google him. He has been able to provide the most meme content to the Butcher Circus ever. And he does indeed have his excellent YouTube channel. If you saw this follow animation, whenever someone follows or subscribes or drops me a donation, there is this ancestor kind of moves out, drops from the top of the screen as well. This is the animation. This was done single-handedly by Omnipeasant, including drawing of the ancestor as well. So really cool stuff. He has like he's such a talented person, creating so much awesome content. You guys just have to appreciate this man as well. So you know, you can just go ahead and just Google Omnipeasant. Get his subscription going as well. He's also such a prominent person in our community too. So yeah, very cool stuff, guys. Omni is such an amazing content creator. Probably the best one ever.
Absolutely. I remember first getting into Darkest Dungeon and seeing all the small little skits and videos he made. And I thought they were amazing. Never did I think there would be a day where not only would I know him, but end up working with them.
Yeah, we also did like a little collab, by the way, with Omnipeasant and with Goliath as well, and with CEST. There's a very decent tier list that kind of goes in depth on all the characters in the Butcher Circus. So I do recommend you guys check this out as well. There is a video. I'm just gonna link this, I think. So we have like, this is like 2 hours of material all together. So I'm just gonna drop the link right now. You guys can have a look at this during the recess between the games, perhaps. So let's have a look at this. This is one of the best tier lists ever created for the Butcher Circus, I feel. So you guys might just want to check that out as well. There's a lot of cool stuff happening there. We have like, you know, Goliath talking about his favorite characters. CEST very insightful, obviously, as well. Omnipeasant editing the whole thing as well. So such a cool collab to come to fruition, guys. If you are, you know, interested in watching the stream, you can keep watching, but you might just kind of book an hour or two for this one, you know, throughout the future week, perhaps, right after the tournament is over. A lot of cool content there. Obviously, there are kind of a lot of Easter eggs hidden in the video by Omnipeasant. It's kind of worth watching it and paying attention to the details, because Omni has been able to edit a lot of cool stuff into that one and into part number 2 as well.
Right, just every single one of the videos about the collab tier list, just absolute gems.
Yeah,
like
totally.
Like, there's the legitimate discussion of the characters themselves.
I'm sorry, Silentia, but I feel we might actually be getting the game right now. It's indeed loading right now. Mangle Cadaver versus Sleepy Cherry. Game number 4, deciding matchup for Cherry.
Game number 4
Mangle can still drop a single game and stay alive in the series. Guys, 2-1 for Mangle. Spam your energy, give them your energy. Make sure that you root for your players. Cherry and Mangle, they are at the brink of victory now. Mangle a single game away from being able to get to the finals of this tournament. Cherry needs 2 wins right now. They both need so much from this one. They, the victory is on the cards for both of them right now, and they really want to get it. So right now, we see Cherry taking the first 10.
We already see Cherry go for a very smart play, just going ahead with the immediate defender, protecting the Houndmaster, making it so that Mangle won't be able to just simply mow him down with all of the damage he can apply with the Arbalist, Bounty Hunter, and Jester, So just turn 1, first character of turn 1 nonetheless, we see Cherry go for an extremely smart play, showing that she has full knowledge of what Mangle's comp is capable of.
We do not see, however, the Bellwalk of Light on the Crusader of Cherry. And there is only a single correct move for Cherry right now. I'm not gonna say this for now, but there is a single move. And I feel you know this, and I know this. You have to hope that Cherry knows. If Cherry doesn't know, guys, Cherry doesn't know. What is the correct move, Silentia? Can you tell me what the correct move is?
If I had to assume the correct move, I would say most likely stunning the Jester.
No. Okay. This is a good move, by the way.
Well, it seems that the move was correct in its own right, landing a crit rage on the Bounty Hunter and nearly dropping him to death's door in a single move.
Yeah, the correct move, I feel, was either stunning the BH or unstunning your own Crusader, because the BH can just absolutely demolish you right now. This is a hard-to-kill BH against a stunned Crusader. This is the most painful thing you might ever experience. Obviously, Mangle kind of stopped in his tracks right now by this very heavy crit, so he might have to consider this, but he probably will just go for this. This is so much damage, and eliminating the Crusader so early into this fight, or at least putting a lot of pressure on the character, is just going to be absolutely crucial. Look at this, is going to probably a Dirk Stab, and this Crusader, you have to feel not going to be long for this world. I mean, you can still guard this, you can prevent the finale, but you can no longer prevent the Dirk Stabs right now. This is, obviously no mark on the guy, but still kind of
the mark is transferred around. And with that, you have to remember that the Houndmaster no longer has the guard on him from the Man-at-Arms.
So he is exposed.
That Mangle has free range to just simply pull him and go for a sniper shot. Plus, now Jess will most likely be able to... Ends up going for the Battle Ballad, actually. I was anticipating a Dirk Stab, which would set him up for a turn 2 finale, most likely on the Houndmaster or even Crusader.
I think you might not want to be playing with your luck, especially with these guards from the Houndmaster. You might want to kind of pivot onto the HM right now, which means you need a lot of accuracy to do so, right? So
that is very true.
This is very likely to hit here, by the way. Cherry did switch to Pitfighter's helmet on this Houndmaster, so he is relatively healthy. He's going to be quite okay. There's no crit coming down. 30% crit chance still on this Arbalest, I think, coming to this shot.
Exactly. And another thing that was mentioned during the planning phases was that neither of Cherry's comps had any move abilities that are able to pull, meaning that Mangled was able to take 2 offensive items with his Arbalest in full confidence that he won't need a snuff.
Yeah, it's kind of a scary bit, by the way, for Mangle right now, because he might want to take over the game, but can he still do this? Seeing this, seeing this BH actually force him to perhaps play this a bit passive, just heal as well, because this Abomination is fully perfectly capable of just taking down the A-bomb. Taking down the
so you have to
down
remember
to
that
zero
Cherry
again.
Does have no ways of has no finishers or any moves that have additional death blow chance. So it's also possible that Mangle will just go for an aggressive play and try and test his luck. Though we do see him just play the safe play here, which I
you have decent rotation available, right? So you heal the Arbalest, you go for the Dirk Stab, perhaps set up for the finale 10-3. I feel like this is something that you might just want to do if you are Mangle indeed. Because this just gives you a decent shot indeed at getting this death blow 10-3 perhaps. On this Houndmaster, you see a stun come through, but this is kind of unlikely to hit. Oh, it actually comes through.
So it does end up hitting, and now Cherry's in a fantastic position. Not only is the Abomination cycling in and out for the transformations, but we have a Bounty Hunter who is at death's door as well as stunned, meaning that he won't be able to do anything to stop Cherry's reign at the moment.
This is very good for Cherry, obviously, but Cherry hasn't really been able to do that much stress, other than just putting a lot of pressure on the poor BH there of Mangle. So Mangle still might just get those
she's done all the stress that she needs for the moment. She's applied a good amount. She'll be stacking a lot of horror thanks to the Abominations, most likely transforming a second time on the following turn. And even then, she's applied so much damage that Mangle has already been having to play on the back foot.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so she's doing a very fine job. The question is just, is it enough, right? Is it enough against this crazy composition that we see? Because we might see this Arbalest, actually, I'm kind of surprised. We might have actually seen Mangle just go for a sniper shot. He's just trying to even pressure Cherry into healing herself. Because honestly, like, if you're Cherry, do you want to be trading, trying to trade death blows against a Jester, Bounty Hunter, Crusader, Arbalest? I don't really think so. So if you're a Cherry, if you're forced into defensive position, then you're probably just going to lose this straight away. We see Rampart come.
We now see a Rampart come out, and with that, Jester is pushed back and dazed. Fantastic move on Cherry's part.
Yeah, very
just
good.
Completely denying that finale.
Yeah, very solid control overall. So we might actually have. I feel like this was a wasted opportunity for Mangle to just use this use this Obelisk to actually just perhaps try to take down the BH to 0 HP. Obviously, this means there are no bellows coming down yet. And there is also no Bellwalk of Light for the Crusader, which is kind of, I feel like, must have been a very big mistake by Cherry, because dropping the Bellwalk 10-1, obviously there's kind of a conundrum as to what you switch the Bellwalk out for, because all those skills that that the Crusader has are absolutely vital for you. Also, this BH drops to 0 HP again, so this might force Mangle to actually clear this, kind of heal this BH instead of doing damage to the backline of Cherry.
I would assume Arbalest to be the one to heal, since it would also clear the bleed that would been applied from the Hound's Harry and make it so that he doesn't have the potential of getting put back into Death's Door from it if he heals with the Crusader. Though we don't know what his play is going to be. He's hovering over the Bounty Hunter, potentially even contemplating just simply going for his turn.
Yeah, I mean, there are not so many characters can directly harm him right now, the only one being the MAA, because the Dazed Abomination just at least buys him some time. And if you can just use this to leverage your 10, just kind of to swing the momentum a little bit in your favor. I feel like Mangle might just be considering even just moving the Crusader back. He doesn't do this though. Because moving the Crusader back would just set up for the finale, but I think he might just want to wait for the MAA to activate first. Yeah, so that's just basically what it is.
We now see Holy Lance come out. It comes out onto the Jester, however, he does get the dodge.
Reasonable though. You have to kind of account for this. This kind of likely scenario for Mangle, to get those dodges on the Jester, faulty dodge on the man. So no surprise really, seeing those dodges. Obviously, if you're Cherry, you hate to see it, but you just have to count for this being like a realistic possibility. You basically take a coin tosser, only 90 accuracy on this lance, and she does have the Writ of Execution. So it's a very likely thing to happen. Like, this is just something this was a coin flip from Cherry, and she just lost it. No surprise,
now we
really.
effectively see a dead Crusader. Even if we have a defender come out, it wouldn't have mattered. Though we don't, we just see him simply go for the bellow.
That's a dead Crusader. Absolutely, there's no way out of this. This is a dead Crusader. I feel like Cherry takes over the. Mangle
exactly. Even if he had defender, then there was still, the threat of the Dirk Stab just simply killing him.
Yeah. And you can see this Jester move forward with the X-Stab right now. Obviously, Rampart's still available to the MAA, so this is not by no means over, right? There's no way to just secure a finale for Mangle, right? But he can just definitely threaten this. And this pressure that he puts means that Cherry isn't doing stress, she's just trying to control the character. That really is absorbing a lot of pressure here. Obviously, high dodge as well on the man means that those moves are not guaranteed to succeed anymore. Faulty dodge is very high value, and right now this just is super high buffed up, so he might just get the finale on the Houndmaster from the get-go, really. Also, stunning the Jester not exactly the best choice anymore, because this this Obelisk might just want to use the Flare anyway, because there's like a lot of those debuffs stacking against Mangle right now. A lucky Hound's Harry might just still turn this fight around, so you might see just the Hound's Harry dropping right now. We don't actually. We see Cherry play the safe and passive.
We just simply see it go for the Rampart once again, pushing Jester back, just continuing to deny that finale. Cherry does not want him to let that rip.
I mean, you can go for a stun right now, or you could actually just save this Crusader of the future to just move him back, because Mangle has a single move more available to himself than Cherry does. So you can just basically save this for future, just, use the Crusader defensively, just move backwards, set up for the finale, and just secure another kill. I feel like this is the very correct decision by Mangle, just, leaving this as an open decision, because, the most painful thing to deal with for Mangle right now is indeed this Houndmaster. And if
but first he goes ahead, plays it safe, heals up his Bounty Hunter. He does not want that to take an unnecessary death blow and cause a potential massive, increase in tempo for Cherry.
Yeah, looks like a very even matchup altogether, because Cherry has been able to kind of resist or just at least stay alive throughout the onslaught, also the composition by Mangle. But Mangle has been able to kind of leverage his lead. He did all the correct moves, and this just feels like this might just go either way at this point. This might just go either way.
Exactly.
We might see the Crusader honestly just move back here. I just like to see the Crusader moving back. Might just go for a heal as well, though. You might just go for this healing here. Passively,
he does choose to go for that, and he does actually get a crit.
Yeah, that's
giving him that little extra piece of healing that will make it so that the Houndmaster will not be able to put him down into Death's Door through the bleed.
Yeah, that's one save BH right now. That's one save BH. So, well, sorry, yeah, he might just go for a hook on the Houndmaster right now, getting him forward.
Though now we are seeing a lot of afflictions.
Yeah.
Mangle's entire team is afflicted at this point, with Bounty Hunter on his way to a heart attack.
Yeah, absolutely. So Cherry able to reliably slow the pace of this game down, and this might be playing against Mangle to quite a heavy extent, right? So Mangle probably is in trouble right now. Maybe it would be even Cherry's game to lose at this point, you have to feel.
Exactly, because you have to remember, due to the 4 afflictions, not only is Mangle fighting Cherry, but he's also fighting probability, for just the simple fact that he can get some very unlucky passes or other act-outs that could seal the game in Cherry's favor.
Yeah, totally. So this is not looking that hot for Mangle anymore. Obviously, this this hook does connect, but doesn't bring the Houndmaster forward. And this is again like very, very big thing for Mangle, for Cherry, because she doesn't want to lose this Houndmaster anytime soon. This is probably her ticket into Game 5. So she's gonna take over right
and now you have to wonder, is the Jester safe at this point? Because there's a very real chance that Cherry can just simply go for a Hound's Harry or go for a Rake, continue to apply pressure while also killing the Jester. She instead chooses to go with the safe play, go for the Rampart, once again pushing the Jester back. He is not allowed to finale. Cherry is not going to let that happen while she still has a chance to stop it.
I'm kind of disappointed, honestly, by Mangle, because he could have used the potential of moving the Jester, into position by using the Crusade like several times this fight already, and him not actually making use of these opportunities. I feel like he just squandered a lot of his hopes in this tournament. Honestly, this kind of forces Cherry, by the way, this one forces Cherry to... he could have also tried to stun the MAA, by the way. Cherry doesn't actually go for healing here on that. That's kind of a big mistake, you have to feel. It's such a huge tactical misplay for Cherry. Because she goes for Manacles here, yeah, this might work.
Yeah, she goes for Manacles. Bounty Hunter now at Death's Door, extremely close to a heart attack.
Okay, this is kind of scary right now, because I feel like
176, I think he actually may face a heart attack if he's activated now due to the extra stress that he will have from being in Death's Door. So now Mangle is forced to go for the heal onto the Bounty Hunter if he wants to keep him alive.
Oh, that's very lucky for Mangle,
we do actually see an act-out that works in Mangle's favor.
Yeah. It's kind of a scary moment for everyone right now, because Sleepy Cherry, she really wants to keep this BH alive. At the very same time, the finale is definitely on the cards, and Mangle at the same time, he might just lose a single character. You have to feel like this, this Hound's Harry in conjunction with the horror stack on the BH means that Mangle just might have to concede their characters live.
There's nothing that Mangle can do about it.
And it's like, it's just auto-activated because of the days, so this just secures the kill. And, it's just kind of a scary moment for Mangle, really, because he goes for a finale. You have to feel like this is kind of over the top slide, because this means, like, this is still 2v3. Perfectly winnable for Mangle, by the way, here, because he has a stun, so this might control the A-bomb almost indefinitely. And this Jester is still kind of healthy, so, it's...
Right, and another thing to mention about Mangle is that the trinkets he's running on the Crusader does actually allow for a decent chance to just go for chain stuns, having both the gauntlets and the blade.
Yeah. So you can just kind of chain those stuns reliably, get rid of this A-bomb right now, remove some of the pressure. By the way, this Jester, if you do not see this as Mangle, you might just lose the Jester right now, because he needs healing right now. If he doesn't get the healing, the combination of bleed and horror will indeed kill the character. So, he has to heal this. He has to heal this absolutely, because otherwise the Jester is just gonna go down to to a heart attack into something very scary.
Actually, no. Just simply the talking actually ends up.
That's very lucky, but yeah.
He's not dead yet, though.
Yeah, still healing will be very, very useful right now for Mangle. So this is still winnable for both players. I feel like this is still not a solved game by any means. And obviously this MAA coming into like the 6th turn basically untouched is a scary prospect for Mangle. At the very same time, he has a lot of stuns available, right? So yeah, it's just kind of difficult to assess this game right now. Obviously, I feel Cherry has a decent advantage, but still not a solved game by any means. Guys, please, if you are rooting...
So we do now see a Beast Bio, which will apply a ton of stress, causing the Jester a heart attack, as well as the Crusader having a heart attack as soon as he's activated due to the stacked horror.
Yeah, and that's
we'll
just
most likely
scary.
just have to see him go ahead and try to go for a double heal.
So a very heads-up play by Cherry, by the way. This might just seal the deal. Like, I actually didn't take this into account. Feels like this might just be a dead Crusader, right? Very soon. And then there is like, suddenly this game just snowballs out of control for both players.
We see him get another crit on the healing, though. The stress that he heals, actually, I don't think will be enough to put him out of the threshold of being heart attacked by the Man-at-Arms, though there is a potential chance that he does.
Yeah. Man, like, I feel like Mangle just played this to save.
It doesn't matter. We now see chain heart attacks.
Yeah, Mangle just played this to save. He could have just, instead of healing this BH consistently, just moved the Jester in position before and just taken, you know, opportunity to just get the kill there, which he did not do, and in the end this might just be the end, because the Jester probably thinks
and
he
the
has
crit
just
onto
to
a
die.
post-beast pile just makes it completely sealed.
Also, there is not enough damage on the Abomination to actually threaten him, and the Jester does pass.
Just to make it even more
and
obvious.
That's just, looks like this is just over. The Abel just activates, drops another bile, and those two characters just drop down. Also, I feel like MAA stress is just gonna be enough, so looks like Cherry does indeed take game number 4, and this will be a very, very long series.
Yeah, we're seeing the first of the 2 semifinals matches going to a game 5 scenario.
Chain heart attacks taking everybody down on the side of Mangle, just sealing the deal. Cherry emerges victorious in game number 4, and you have to feel this is like everything is on the table right now for both players. They just really need to buckle up and make sure that they are able to clutch this in the final game of the series, because they know they'll be facing, by the way, we see the Dax, there's only a singular composition available for both, so obviously stolen from CEST, unsuccessful twice actually comes through in the final matchup here, and this is only the Cherry's composition here. The Mercenary is available, and this is quite a squishy combo, honestly. There is no Crusader there, there's a Vestal, you know, very vulnerable to those pulls by the BH, and you have to be scared of your Cherry, because, you know, this Vestal can be disposed of with, like, in a very brutal fashion, seriously, by the Conquest composition by Mangle. This is such a scary prospect coming into this matchup right now if you are Cherry, because a single pull into a crit into a Derek Star might just end your tournament life. And this is this has been such close series that you would really want to win this if you're Cherry right now. Seriously, this is such a close one, and yeah, I'm just kind of rooting for both players right now. Guys, please let us know, let everybody know whom you're rooting for. Team Cherry, Team Mangle, you know, just stand up in the chat.
Send them your energy.
Yeah, energy needed, guys. Energy needed for both players here. Obviously, it might take us a while to get connection again. And yeah, it's just going to such a it's going to be such a close matchup, I feel like, because both players we saw, I feel like Mangle just lacks some proficiency on this comp as well. This can be played cleaner than that, so, you know, seeing what Mangle was doing, maybe that's kind of a glimmer of hope for Cherry just coming to game number 5, that is, sorry guys. So I'm very excited to see this one. I'm just gonna let the players be ready. They know they're facing, right? They can adjust their trinkets right now, make sure that the setup of the team is as well just kind of as good as humanly can be. Because right now every single bit matters. You really want to take this home. You really want to advance to the finals. So you can see players exchanging some positive messages that are kind of praising each other's play. So you know, the rivalry is kind of healthy right now. I really want to see, you know, Mangle or Cherry take this final game here. And yeah, I'm just kind of looking forward to the resolution.
I'm just interested in some of the counterpicks that they're going to be playing. You know, we may see some very unorthodox things come out, you know, things such as we saw last game, you know, the Rampart coming out from the Man-at-Arms, allowing Cherry to just completely control Mangle's Jester, and, you know, things of that nature. In fact, if we really wanted to try and suggest it, Mangle may even try to go for the stress heal on either the Crusader or the Jester, just to try and keep, you know, the stress that Cherry's able to apply down a bit, potentially even, you know, get virtues through the Crusaders.
Yeah, maybe pick up Snuff on the BH, because there is so much stun potential on that composition.
That is very true, yeah.
Maybe just keeping the BH, because this is like 90% chance to resist stuns then for the BH might be enough. So maybe just give up the pressure you get from the Heartseeker, you go for this kind of stun resistance as well to get some more control in the game. So that's another opening for Mangle. He has a lot of stun control though, he can remove those with the flares, and I feel like he's in a prime position to take this series. Obviously though, you can never discard, or like, how do they say this, underestimate Cherry really, because she just knows what she's doing, and as well, like, she's just so prepared coming to this series that yeah, it's just going to be such an exciting matchup. The Duel of Fates, you might want to say, the final game of the best of 5, guys. This is the silver scrapes that we get, and this is going to be such an exciting moment for both players.
Also, to answer the question of Life Levita in the chat, is Melee Vestal actually good? No, but it is funny, and that's all that matters.
It is. That's all you can say. Yeah, she is not the the strongest one as well. So, by the way, Eno Mate on the chat asking about the Caltrops ever accomplishing anything. Yes, they got a kill in the previous game. This is basically what secured Cherry win in game number 2, I believe. So the Caltrops did come through, and they did actually manage to secure the kill there. And this is also like a lot of DOT pressure that people don't really take into account, but it kind of stacks and accrues over time. So this means that you eventually, the game extends into like a 10-12 round game. This does about 24 damage if it's used early. So this is a lot of pressure that you actually don't really see at first, but it's kind of something that pays off in the end. So Caltrops very good skill, but it's like a must. I feel like BH has a set of skills
absolutely.
that just have to be taken. This is the Mark, this is the Come Hither, this is the Caltrops, and this is the Finish Him. Those are absolutely core for most of the BHs. Unless you run some crazy multiple Mark compositions, then you might just want to take the other damaging skill of the BHs. What is that one called, by the way? Do you remember the name of that one?
Oh, the Collect Bounty?
Oh yeah, Collect Bounty, thank you. Yes, indeed. That's the one.
Right,
that's the one, indeed.
Bounty Hunter is just, another one of those characters that falters to the 4 skill syndrome, where if he had all of his skills available, he would be an absolute menace, even more so than he already is, though.
Yeah.
Only being able to take 4, it limits him a bit, but said 4 is so powerful that he's just insanely strong regardless.
Yeah, true. So it's kind of a crazy finish to the series right now. I didn't see this going all the way to the 5th game, honestly, but Cherry just, delivers. And Mangle might be kind of scared right now. Honestly, if I were Mangle, this is the moment when I'm actually afraid, because losing with this composition, being forced, he has no other choice but to play this again. This is such a scary point, because he really has to clutch this, he has to take this win in a confident fashion as well, and just, if he really wants to advance to the finals. So it's kind of, it's just very, very pivotal moment for both players, seriously.
Alright, just seeing everything that these players are capable of, just going into this game 5, it's so exciting to know who's going to end up coming out on top and who's going to be advancing into the finals.
Yeah. And they'll be facing them, and we can take this moment since the guys are still deciding, kind of trying to connect actually, I think. So we can just have a look at the second matchup of the day, just preemptively. And this will be CEST versus BRH. What do you make of those compositions I just put on the screen?
Oh goodness, CEST versus BRH. Well, we already know all of CEST's composition. We know that they're complete mirrors of Cherries, so we essentially know exactly what to expect from CEST in terms of the compositions. The main thing we'll have to, keep in mind with him is just simply the playstyle that he has, and how nuanced a lot of his decision makings are.
Yeah, absolutely.
So looking at SBRH again, just he's such a strong player he's shown himself to be, and he has so many fantastic comps, and so many picks that most people would never even think of that end up being insanely good, For example, with his third comp, having the Highwayman and commonly the 4th position is just absolutely insane. It shuts down Flagellants, it shuts down Antiquarians, it shuts down Houndmasters, it shuts down Jesters, it shuts down Abominations. It just stops everything that wants to do any sort of AoE damage.
Yeah, that's true. So, and there's a lot of AoE damage on CEST's composition as well, and those Flagellants might just get punished quite heavily by that, right? So, the Highwayman, kind of the staple of SBRH is putting that character in the final row in the battle. So this basically means that he will definitely take over the Flagellant as well. He can land a very decent combo on the Flagellant, just eliminate the character from the very get-go in the fight, and then it just becomes so scary, right? Just kind of being under the constant pressure of double riposte with as much AoE as CEST has on his compositions. It is just going to be remarkably important for CEST to just be able to kind of control those fights, balance out the damage and healing, perhaps just kind of take a deep breath every single turn, just kind of make sure that SBRH isn't 2 turns ahead of you every single time, because I feel like he has been ahead of all those players, except for Mangle perhaps, throughout the entire tournament.
Also, I did mention this earlier, but I was thinking after we finish up the match between Mangle and Cherry that we have a small intermission, maybe 5-10 minutes, just so that everybody can take a small break.
Oh, we definitely will, yeah. I already kind of scheduled this with the players. So we will have I feel 5 to 10 minute break. I do need to kind of take a breather as well. Obviously, we are going to the final game, guys.
Just take a breather, refill your water, all that.
Yeah.
But now, we're getting into the final game. Game 5 between Mangled and Cherry. Winner of this will end up advancing to the finals of the tournament.
What a big moment, man. I was not prepared for this. I'm not ready for this. I feel jitters going through my body right now. This is going to be such an exciting and goosebumps moment, guys, seriously. And Mangle takes over the pressure of the going first. So this is such an important thing for this comp specifically to go first. Also, Cherry placing this vest in third, maybe anticipating the pull, because this means that
Right,
perhaps
it's a very
Mangle,
smart decision, you know, just having the pull available, you know, on the bounty hunter makes it so that her putting the Vestal in third position makes it so that she won't be able to be pulled and be targeted by the Arbalest. A very, very smart decision from Cherry.
Yeah, but
right
then
off the bat.
you do land with the Vestal position 1 then, and you have to use the A-bomb directly to just move across the board and just, you know, move the Vestal to second.
Right,
so maybe
though Mangled actually potentially may have seen through this plan and ended up
absolutely.
taking the mark on his bounty hunter, a skill that you almost never see.
No, I actually always take it. I advertise everyone to do this as well. Yeah, because this basically means that you are not limited by, you know, being forced. If you have like the BH and the Arbalest, you no longer have to hook the final character, like the final row, in order to deliver damage upon them. Right now, with this, you can just actually attack anybody you want and just drop those heavy damage, like bits of damage on whoever you really wish to attack. By the way, this debuff, main people just kind of underestimate how much it does. It is actually 20% death blow resistance down, and this means a direct stab with a finisher on this Jester will just shred you. Like, it will just almost guarantee a kill.
I believe that would be
Vestal.
roughly I believe that would be roughly a 50 to 70% chance of that actually killing.
By the way, this is a Tiller full offensive setup on this Arbalest by Mangle. He's waiting right now. He's sitting there and he's waiting for Cherry to react, because if Cherry doesn't really see through this Arbalest will just massacre the Vestal. There will be a Dirk Stab follow-up, probably like a 0 HP Vestal getting Dirk Stab in the face, and she's just going to be dead. So Mangle just probably activates the Crusader right now, just waits it out, allows the Tiller buff to activate, and this will be like the most important
just that extra
10,
15% damage is just going to, you know, likely be extremely helpful, potentially even be the threshold it takes to put the Vestal down into death's door.
Yeah. So we just have to wait right now. Mangle, I feel like he just activates the Crusader, waits there, maybe hopes that Cherry perhaps drops the Bellew there. I really don't know what she might do. But this is such a big damage burst potentially coming down. This is the pivotal moment for Mangle. If he's able to get the pressure now, he gets the execute for free, because he goes first next round, man. And Cherry really needs to see this. She doesn't see this. She can stun the Jester. She can stun the Jester. Is it a dodge? No, it's not.
Which does help.
But there is a BH. This is still a BH that can activate.
BH, and with this
is not enough damage though.
This is just not enough damage. As much damage as we expected. As she does actually have the Pit Fighter's helm, giving her that 20% protection.
That's big brain play from Cherry, by the way. This is such a big brain play.
That's a fantastic decision.
This means that 20% death blow, 20% damage resistance comes down as well from that Bellow, and right now there's a lot of, a lot of pressure right now on Mangle actually to just deliver damage to this Vestal. Very good play, very decent idea, by the way. This is a 0 HP Vestal right now, though he has to heal this. Can he do it? He can just activate the Vestal heal right now, or just try to stun the BH, right? And there is no way to remove the stuns right now.
Those are the two main options here.
You can stun the BH not reliably right now, but you can still do this anyway. And this means that the Vestal perhaps is going to just get a stun here and maybe just some semblance of control alongside that.
Goes for the Dazzling Light onto him.
By the way, this mark...
And gets the stun.
Yeah, obviously this is kind of going to happen though. This is going to be potentially triple. I don't agree with this move by Mangle, by the way. He could have just gone for a stun right now on this on this Abomination right now, because this means that the Alien can get another stun landed on someone and maybe still take over. Honestly though, this Jester will probably secure a death blow on this Vestal next turn, because there is nothing stopping the man from doing so. You can no longer double stun this character. He'll just definitely get the kill, but this is also very low damage, low roll on the rage, and this means that probably Mangle is just going to secure a kill and move forward from there. The scary bit, however, is moving forward from that kill. Does he still have enough steam to actually keep delivering damage blow after damage blow after damage blow, because he has to kill everyone right now. This is a very tanky comp altogether still, and even getting this Vestal dead is not going to do it yet for you. You need to be able to secure everything. Mangle has to play this pick ship perfect, or he's just going to be completely screwed in this tournament. Losing this means you're out. You still get the physical rewards, but there's no longer way for you to contest the final spot here. So it's just gonna be such a detrimental moment right now for Mangle. He has to get the killing blow. He has to follow this up with another very fast, very smooth kill as well, coming into the second portion of this fight. No guard will save this Vestal, by the way. Nothing can be done. She's just super, super dead. She has minus 20% Devil Res. I feel like this is going to be like 80-something% chance to kill just for the BH with Caltrops. And even the Jester again, like, you have to consider, the protection as well. But this Jester just moves forward with a Dirk Sub. This is a super dead Vestal. Minus 30% chance to resist a Devil. This is so big. What does Mangle do actually here? I feel like he just wants to go for some sort of a finishing blow here. Maybe just go for Caltrops. This is such a like
right. The Caltrops is a very real possibility.
You have to Dirk Sub this, man. You have to freaking Dirk Sub this if you're Mangle. You have to.
Well, he doesn't even have to Dirk Stab if he wants to. He also had the possibility of just simply going for a sniper shot. Though he does go for the Dirk Stab, and he gets the kill on the Vestal.
You can't waste a sniper shot in such a moment. You want to pull the Houndmaster right now, man. You want to get that sniper shot on the Houndmaster. This means you're basically taking over the game. You have the finale available. Obviously, Rampart still on the cards. But man, if you are able to get a mark on the Houndmaster, followed up with a BA, with a Arbalest, shooting for maybe a crit once more, and then just stunning the Houndmaster as well, disabling the healing. This is everything you really want right now if you're Mangle indeed. You can also use the Crusader right now to heal the Jester, get him like some semblance of control in this game, not risking anything. He goes for a questionable play, you have to say. I just want to see a pull into a very heavy crit from the
Right, we see him going for a bit more of a defensive play here, just simply trying to heal up the Jester, make sure that he doesn't get killed, and making sure that he's able to get to finale next turn, though we have to question if that is the right play here.
Absolutely, man.
However, one thing here is that Cherry does choose to just simply go for the Houndmaster's turn as opposed to the Abomination, which means Mangle does have the option to go for the finish him onto the Abomination. He's still stunned, and he'll get the bonus damage.
Oh god, this might be a dead A-bomb then. Oh man, I didn't see this.
It's likely.
Yeah, he has the Heartseeker. This is going to be so much burst. And he has this, I don't think he has much protection.
He does have bellow debuffs, but we don't know if that's going to matter yet. We can see that he's very clearly debating this decision.
Also, this
and it looks like he's going to go for it.
14 damage? Okay, that's fine. I feel like this is still okay. And Mangle can restun. This A-bomb very low stun resistance altogether. You can just restun this once again. And this will be probably a dead A-bomb very soon. And setting up for the finale as well, setting up for a lot of damage. There is no direct healing available for Sleepy Cherry. She can she goes for a stun actually it misses. 20% chance to not hit this, and it doesn't hit 1 in 5.
Right. Hold on, no, if I recall correctly, because he has the blade and the gauntlet, then that was only a 5% chance to resist the stun if I'm doing math.
I feel like this is a bit... No, actually it was 30%, because this is 40% stun chance on the Crusader, countered by 70% stun resistance by DMA, so 30% chance. This is 1 in 3 basically, in fact. So, kind of unfortunate for Mangle, obviously, right now.
Right, though what we do see now is the Abomination going ahead and transforming back to human form, which means he's dazed, and Mangle could just simply go for another finish him.
Yeah, there is no more protection available. He can still guard this, obviously, Mangle can still guard this, but you just probably want to see this, finish him followed up with the Arbalest shot, or maybe just with the Dirk Sub there. At the end of this turn, you just have to feel this is the right course of action. The Dirk Sub can always penetrate the guard. Also, I feel like Mangle is just kind of trying to deliver a multi-pronged attack. He removes all the debuffs as well. This is very big.
He goes ahead, removes the debuffs, removes the stun on the Crusader, removes the daze on the Jester, making his turn order a lot less predictable for Cherry. I'd say that was a very smart play.
Man, I'm on the edge of my seat because this is anybody's game. Look at the stress on Mangle. He has so many stressed characters. This Houndmaster might deliver potentially quadruple affliction across the board if he gets anything done. Actually, two dodges,
and that will stop 2 of the afflictions unless there are speak-outs.
Yeah. Oh my god. Oh, this is so close. No, Mangle is not female, though. I'm mixing things up potentially. Alright, so is this gonna be just Zell's accusation? This might be just Zealous into Dirk Sub to finish him right now. I feel like this might be the... Oh, this is a 15 damage crit, man. This is it. I feel like she's just got this. Sorry, I just knocked my freaking mouse from my desk.
He's just on the edge. He's on the edge of death's door at 1 HP.
Oh my god.
Activated, has the chance to go for the Defender. What do you think we're gonna see here?
Yeah. I have no idea.
And we could see the Defender. We could also just see a Bellow get the last 2 afflictions going, as well as some damage debuffs. But honestly, I'd say Defender is most likely just the safest option here, even if it doesn't prevent... Actually, no, I'd say Defender doesn't actually work here, as the Jester's able to just Dirk Stab, and then the Bounty Hunter can just go ahead and land out the Caltrops.
Potentially, but there is a lot of protest. Well, okay, there are no debuffs on this BH. This is kind of a safe play, I think.
Yeah, there are none. And you have to remember, he does have the Heartseeker alongside the finisher, so I want to say this is a 60% chance for him to get the killing blow.
By the way, the flare was actually so big right now. This is why he did this, right? Because this means that there is free 10 order. He can do whatever he wants. Also, this Jester moving into second, very lethal potentially for this Handmaster 10-4. Sorry, 10-5.
Right.
So this is a potentially dead Abomination. He doesn't
get
this though. This
he
is
actually
very important.
survives. He gets. That was less than a coin flip chance for Cherry to resist it, but she does get it.
I mean, this might just be a Derek sub right now, obviously, because this is that A-bomb just kind of buys Sleepy a single 10 ball, and that's just such an important thing, because if you can eke out those small leads at this point into the game, it just gives you such a big advantage, guys. Oh man, this is so close.
There's even potential that Mangle may want to try and go for a stun onto the Man-at-Arms, and then try to just simply finish off the Abomination that way.
Okay, yeah. Oh, right. You mean Zealous Accusation, right? You can just go for Zealous as well. If you're Mangle.
Zealous is also a possibility, yes.
Oh, there are multiple afflictions though across the board. So Paranoid, quite a bunch of nasty afflictions. Guys, this is such an exciting one. He doesn't get it!
He doesn't get it!
Oh man, you have to feel bad right now if you're Mangle.
Abomination just refuses to die!
Yeah, and I mean, he wants to get the finale this turn as well. You have to feel like he wants to go for, Arbalest with the shot.
And now, with that crit, Jester's at death's door.
Yeah, might act out. Like, we have multiple act out opportunities for those characters as well. So it's such a scary moment right now. Obviously, Mangle...
This is terrifying for Mangle.
For both of them. Like, seriously, this is on the edge. This game is absolutely on the edge right now, guys. Holy crap, this tournament delivers, man. I didn't see this coming. This delivers so much.
Nobody could have seen this coming.
No. This is a pass. No, this is just a stress. This is a dead A-bomb now. No!
He lives!
30% Devil resistance. How is this fucking possible? I'm sorry. How is this possible?
He was at 40 before. He has the Dirk Stab. He has the finisher.
How?
What is this Abomination made of?
I have no idea. How is this human? It was like 5% chance or something.
I believe so. I believe that was a 5% chance.
Oh my god. Oh, I hate to see this if you're Mangle. Holy shit.
You absolutely cannot stand this.
Oh man. Mangle is... Oh my god, this was a freak. Oh, I just have no words. Fuck, I have no words for this.
There are no words to describe this. He does get the crit though, so that should help a small amount.
Yeah, but oh man, he can just absolution this right now. If you're Sleepy, Sleepy can just absolution this. She's gonna be okay. Oh man, like this is just falling apart. This is just falling apart for Mangle. Seriously.
Look at that death blow chance, 155 if he was able to go for the death.
Oh my god.
To finish him.
Freaking hell.
We see the hook come out, we get the movement, we get the mark, and now Mangle may be able to just go ahead and transition his focus over to the
this just 160% finale damage. This might just kill the Houndmaster. This just might just even kill the MAA. He has zero, like he has 40% protection, okay, but it's still like this might be just a kill on anyone.
No, he goes for a transform, potentially wanting to push the Jester back into third.
Yeah, she does. So, yeah, she pushes the Jester back, and that's very big as well. But this is you can just Zealous this right now. Obviously, you can Zealous move the BH back even. There are so many opportunities for Mangle.
You can Zealous, you can go for the Dirk Stab again.
So many kills on the cards. You can just Mangle. He just needs to collect those kills this turn. He has a lot of possibilities. So Dirk Stab right now puts him into the front. He can also shoot this mark.
With that, Abomination is finally down, but not before they were able to transform twice and do so much stress damage through the
Oh my god. This might just be it. I feel like Mangle just might lose this because there's a lot of bleeding damage as well across the board. Oh, this took so long to kill this A-bomb. I feel like he might have wanted to actually just focus the Houndmaster. This might be like a tactical mistake in a way. This Jester might just die.
Right, I think the Jester is actually going to die due to the Hound's hairy stress.
Oh my god. I'm so scared for Mangle right now. I really just feel like he has been doing everything right. And this just looks so freaking scary for them. I mean, he has so many stuns available, but those act-outs, this stress, all this stuff coming through right now, this is just such a terrible, terrible moment for Mangle. He can still clutch this, obviously, he has the finale bonus. But you really want to control the MAA to do this. I don't know, maybe this
Right.
was a bad choice. He might have just wanted to use the Arbalest to heal and then just get the stun on the EMA, because otherwise this Jester will never get to finale at all this fight.
Right, the dodge on the Jester made it so that he doesn't take the extra stress, so he's not in range of
Oh,
attack
no!
just yet.
The
However,
Arbalest
the
is
Arbalest
dead!
is dead!
Oh my god, Mangle is just gonna Mangle is out. Man, Mangle is just out. Mangle is donezo.
Oh my goodness, this is such an intense game.
Mangle is just out. I can't believe this. Mangle is just dead.
Goodness.
Oh man, that's so unfortunate for Mangle, for a boy.
It is very unfortunate.
Made it
Mangle
all
got
this
a few
way.
crits, but he was overall just so unlucky this game. So many different things just being in Cherry's favor.
Yeah, rest in peace, Mangle.
Like again,
indeed,
Cherry
man.
has played excellently. She's played very well.
She has,
You
but
can't help but feel mad. You can't help but feel bad for Mangle due to just how unfortunate his luck has been.
he had such a good turn order available before. Like this got
Exactly.
ruined by this abomination just not dying to the BH, to the two, I think double Derek stab to Caltrops. I feel like this man had like 30% devil resistance on this character. This is a potentially dead Crusader very soon as well, right? It's so bad.
His only option here, his only option if he wants to live is to heal the bounty hunter, I believe.
Even more stress coming through. Those guys are so abusive to each other right now. This is looking so terribly, terribly dire for Mangle. No finale coming through either. You know, this abomination, by the way, able to deny the finale on the Houndmaster too. Because this push that was not supposed to happen, because this Able was supposed to be dead for such a long time. Man, it just feels so bad. A crit comes through as well, like a cherry on the top for Cherry. Because this Crusader activates and just dies. Everybody resolve broken, man. Everybody resolve broken. Do you just move the BH right now? Get some space for the. Oh my god!
No, he goes
This
for
is
the,
ridiculous. He gets so.
He kills
Oh
the
my
Jester and
dear
casts the heart
lord!
attack on that.
This is fucking
Oh
unbelievable,
my
man.
goodness!
Cherry just takes this. This is just absolutely
Oh my
brutal
goodness.
RNG. Holy shit. Oh, you hate to see this if you're Mangle. You hate to see it, but this is just what happens. Cherry takes this series, I think.
my
Cherry
goodness.
takes it to the finals.
It looks like it. Cherry has taken the series. And with that, Cherry moves on to the finals. I don't
Cherry
think
does.
there's any method of Mangle to saving this.
Now, I mean, Mangle can activate, maybe heal this again? Maybe heal this again?
Maybe?
Oh, the refuse
No, he
to
even
heal
denies
as well.
it.
Are you kidding me?
His only hope now is to dodge.
Oh my god, it's so painful to see this. Oh, this could have been just solved still. This could still have been a win if the Jester hadn't
And
been
with that,
killed off.
it's
Get us
over.
over. Cherry, congratulations.
Cherry moves on
She
to
deserves
the
this.
finals.
She took Mangle to game 5. She took game 5 as well. She wins the series. And Mangle, guys, is eliminated. Wow, this was the most exciting game I've ever showcasted. I think the most exciting series anyway. Mangle, Mangle needs to get refund from Steam for this one.
Mangle, we apologize for
Oh my
everything
God.
that's
If
happened.
there is anybody from Red Hook on the chat, guys, this is the moment where you apologize for your RNG. Because I invited a couple of people from Red Hook actually to just kind of join us on chat perhaps. I don't know if you guys are there still, but oh man, this was such a... Obviously, I'm kind of spectating this only, right? So, so I'm kind of just able to kind of laugh it off, but still, I just feel bad for Mangle a little bit because I feel like he had a lot of control.
Just
in this
let
game.
out a salute for Mango.
Yeah,
for Mangled.
It could
Let out a salute.
Yeah, it could have been close, guys, but it just wasn't because of those things that happened. I feel like this could have been like a very close final match, but those Devlos not coming through, man. Cherry just delivers. Cherry takes down Mangle. Dismantles the man in games 2 and 3, I think. No, 3 and 4, right? She took 2 consecutive wins. No, right? No. It was like trade, like it was 1-1-1, then Mangle taking game 4, and then Cherry
game 1
taking
was
game
Mangle,
5.
game 2 was Cherry, game 3 was Mangle, then game 4 and 5 was Cherry.
Yeah, okay, so Mangle out, and Cherry goes for the championship potentially, and she might be playing she might just be playing against CEST in the final game as well. So this might be the finals between CEST and Cherry, and we saw this before. Like we saw the matchup before, by the way, guys, and it didn't look pretty for Cherry. So we have to just kind of see whether SBRH is able to just come and deliver as well. This being said, people, this is going to be a very short recess right now because both the casters, I feel, and the players as well who are preparing need to take a breather. So it's going to be a 10-minute break. I'm just going to schedule this right now. and we will indeed go back into the matchup. I'm just going to be on time, guys. So 10 minutes from now, please cut us some slack. We have been casting this series for 2 hours now. The longest series imaginable, by the way, because this went to 5 games. And this was such an exciting game number 5. We couldn't have wished for anything better. And we'll see Eric versus Sis setting up for the final game of the day. It will be, I think Sis will have to actually stream for us because Eric's stream was kind of bad in terms of quality. So I would wish like this is kind of high profile match. I actually want those games to go on, go to my YouTube channel as well. So I prefer Sis to stream if that's possible for you, my man.
Right.
If you're listening.
If I know how to do math correctly, it actually looks like we have 67 viewers right now, combining both the YouTube and Twitch. So thank you for everybody who's coming to watch the stream and watch the end of the Butcher's League.
Yeah, guys, by the way, please remember, follow and subscribe. This does so much to me. If you're enjoying yourselves here, I'm pretty sure you are, because this is such an insane 10 of the series here for Cherry. And it's just such a great tournament overall, guys. If you're enjoying yourself, if you think this was a fun tournament so far, if this has been a fun tournament so far, if you're looking forward to the finals tomorrow at 7 p.m. CEST, by the way, guys, please drop me a subscribe, which is free on YouTube. Drop me a follow. You can also choose to donate some money using the donate link below the stream, or just simply become a YouTube member, which is basically the same as Twitch subscription, just to continuously support me through my work here.
Right.
And guys, this being said, let's go into the break. Thank you so much, Selench. I hope you will be back
Absolutely.
with me after this
Thank
one.
you for having me.
For Sis versus Mangle, because I don't think Shuffle might be able to make this. So if you could still come back to the second series, that would be lovely. Guys, we'll take a short recess. Back after the break with some more amazing Butcher Circus content. This is the best thing ever. Game 5 going up to the very end, as close as humanly possible. RNG maybe can come into play, but still such an exciting series overall, guys. Stay tuned for more. See you after the break. 3, 2, 1. Okay, guys, we're ready, I think. Slowly but steadily, we are ready for the final match of the day, which is going to be CEST versus SBRH. The battle of two AIs, as we might want to say that. What a crazy, crazy matchup. Slash, are you there?
Yep, I'm here. I apologize if my mic quality has reduced a small bit, but it's the best I can do.
No, it actually, like, your volume went up significantly, but the quality is okay. Just it's just kind of way louder than it was before.
Right.
So rip headphone users once again. Sorry, guys. I'm not a sound tech guy, so it's gonna have to kind of go like this. So we're just waiting for the players to connect right now. Both the stream is working. You just need the sound. I'm just gonna ask Eric to kind of enable the sound in the game. If he doesn't, obviously we have a backup plan right now. We have some excellent music from the Butcher Circus and also from other parts of the game that can play. So it's gonna be quite an excellent thing indeed. We have the music from Eric. Perfect. Eric is delivering on the day, guys. And this means we're almost ready to get into the lobby. So the guys will be setting up. I'm just gonna kind of present you with the bands as well, because this is kind of an important thing. I actually didn't get to change the cards. It doesn't just kind of reset the entire thing to scratch, and we'll just have a look at the bands that those players have brought to each other. So we'll be just looking at two very different setups of two different compositions. Obviously, CEST's comps are exactly the same as Cherry's. So on the other side, however, we have a different matchup because obviously SBRH has a very distinctive style and when he comes to those games, right? So this is something that might be innovative perhaps for us again, because he has a very particular playstyle as well. You know, not only does he have kind of peculiar comps, he also plays them in a very special way. So I feel like SBRH will be a big surprise coming into the series right now. So what we see is Danya's team, which is basically a team that I feel was banned in the previous matchup as well. The Vestal, so this is kind of stun variation of the Halo comp, which is also kind of including the stun in it. We see the Halo composition, a Flagellant comp with the Highwayman, which was kind of very good for SBRH in the previous days. If Kushia and Rizik, which is looking like a heavy stress stun comp as well. Finally, we have CEST's comps, which we have already seen before, so there is nothing new there other than their names. So just go over it because CEST decided, like, you know, those are the best comps you can ever use, so there is no reason to be changing what's working, right? I feel like this is kind of a correct approach that both Cherry and CEST took here. We might kind of do a segment on those teams alone as well, guys. So just kind of go at this right now and see what bands we were presented with. So as far as I know, so I'm just gonna kind of go, before I say anything stupid, I'm just gonna go and reread all the messages. You know, I don't really want to make any mistakes here, so let me just go ahead and see. So okay, so SBRH is banning Sacrosanct, so this is what won CEST the previous tournament, whereas CEST is indeed banning Danya's team, which is the Stand Vestal comp that we will no longer see.
Right. And, you know, just everything that we've seen so far, I'd say both of these bands make a good amount of sense. You know, CEST just wanting to, you know, make sure that SBRH doesn't have access to the Jester-Vestal combination. You know, it's just such a strong team being able to control with both the Vestal and the Crusader for a lot of stuns. The Bounty Hunter then able to take advantage of those stuns with the finish him, as well as just having other control via the uppercut and the come hither, and then, you know, Jester, fairly self-explanatory at this point.
Yeah. So this means that SBRH actually allows two Jesters through, right? It's kind of a scary prospect.
Right.
But we have seen Jester dealt with today quite nicely by Cherry, so this might not be a problem at all.
That is very true, because we know CEST wasn't just simply sleeping that whole time. We know that he's been watching the games, he's been seeing how the comps interact, and he most likely has been thinking how to deal with the situations that Cherry wasn't able to.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's exactly the problem. So removing one of those staple stun comps is at least, or stress comps, is definitely going to work in SBRH's favor. And I feel like SBRH is such a versatile player that he doesn't really mind, you know, taking those longer battles with those stress versus stress comps as well. We also saw like this very decent amount of control coming from composition number 3 by SBRH yesterday, which was basically this kind of slow comp that relied on riposte, relied on heavy sustain and heavy control in order to get those wins. So those are very long slow games, but you had to feel like there was no point during those games where SBRH actually relinquished control. So it just looks like he just knows what he's doing here.
Yeah, the thing about them is that a lot of the tempo they get is from the riposte, meaning that while it may be slow, it specifically punishes your opponent for playing aggressive, you know? Like, if a if a Houndmaster tries to go for a Hound's Harry, while SBRH has both the Duelist Advance and the Retribution up, he could go from full health to Death's Door just from that one attack.
Okay, by the way, both players actually asked for 5 more minutes, so we're just gonna take that little break as well to maybe kind of talk in depth about the matchup. We could also kind of try to go back to the previous one, because I feel like we haven't said everything that kind of could have been said, by the way. So I'm just gonna kind of we'll try to kind of track our way back throughout the series, maybe, and we'll have a look at whether there is something perhaps that could have been changed by Mangle, okay, or maybe there's certain adjustments, maybe like he made a mistake during the ban phase, perhaps, maybe just made a mistake during the series, just kind of not picking the right compositions for the right moments as well. Because I feel like maybe actually, like, I'm kind of confident the Conquest comp was his weakest one, actually.
Right. Yeah, I'd say that overall, just, you know, like, some of his bigger mistakes were just simply playing far too safe. Like, as we saw, you know, when he was faced up against Cherry's stress comps, he focused a lot on healing, and I mean, that's the last thing you want to do with a stress comp, you know? Because if you do it, then yeah, you might be able to live for an extra turn, but you have to continuously heal over and over again, and stress just piles on so quickly, and it can create such a strong snowball effect that you may not be able to recover once you've started healing.
Yeah, so maybe Mangle was just kind of too risk-averse, you know, he wasn't taking those shots when he could have at first, and maybe you just have to do this against stress, right? Maybe he was kind of afraid of RNG, but this was RNG that ended up really screwing him hard in the end of the fights, right? So he just kind of let that happen, he let those afflictions pile up, he maybe kind of got unfortunate, obviously, with those death blows, but so you have to feel like he could have definitely played this more aggressively, and obviously this might have meant, you know, his sooner demise, but this might have also meant that, you know, Cherry would have had 0 chances to respond, and also there would have been like way less stress on Mangle, because he would have been consistently pressuring Cherry. This would have meant like she would have been healing instead of doing damage as well, so maybe just risking the 25% death blow very early into the fight just to get extra pressure, maybe land a stun on the MAA, maybe just to get rid of the Houndmaster might have kind of solved it in the final game. Also, I feel like maybe focusing the Abomination, who was already kind of out of all the offensive abilities, was a bad idea. Maybe Mangle should have just tried to, you know, pivot onto the Houndmaster, just take the Houndmaster down first, and then just try to kind of finish off of the, maybe just leave the A-bomb for the last even. Because you have to feel, the Houndmaster did so much stress. He stayed alive for like 4 turns too long. You know, he would have been just easily stun locked into a sniper shot, into death, and this might have basically solved the game. Also, you have to blame Mangle for not stunning the MAA on time several times, where he wanted to set up for the finale, but he didn't kind of take into account the fact that it could have indeed been a rampart. Also, he actually didn't, like, he chose several times to heal instead of actually stunning the Abel, who was knocking the Justice back to the third or to fourth position. So maybe this was kind of unfortunate, therefore, as far as decision making. So just trying to kind of work out the series number 5 there. Obviously, a lot of terrible RNG as well. Like, you had to kind of feel bad for Mangle, you know, taking all those really, really bad blows there, where he could have just taken the Abram down, like, I feel like 3 or 4 moves sooner than he eventually did. So, feels kind of bad indeed. But overall, yeah, it's just what it is. Like, this is Darkest Dungeon, guys. You take your risks, you take your chances, or you're eventually just gonna get shafted by that.
Exactly. Just simply playing safe all the time will almost never just completely pay off. You have to be willing to take those risks, to take those coin flips, and while it may not always be in your favor, in the end of the day, it's going to be what will allow you to, you know, make it this far and be able to pull out some victories that nobody would expect.
Actually, I have news from CEST that's kind of looking scary, because CEST saying it's like he's really feeling bad right now, and he's asking if he could just actually move the match until tomorrow, which looks kind of bad, because we have like very big viewership right now. But I think we might just have to do this then. We have to ask, like, we have to just kind of get agreement from Eric.
Right, according to Circus in the chat right now, he's actively throwing up at the moment, and
yeah, so that's not looking good, right? So we might actually just have to We just have to indeed postpone, because we did postpone the entire tournament for Eric specifically, which is kind of unfortunate because we could have just finished the broadcast much sooner. But yeah, this is just kind of something you can't predict, right? So, granted that we know, we kind of rescheduled for Eric already. We might just kind of do this again for another one then, and we will just have like a 2 best-of-5s tomorrow. One is going to just kind of drive us to the finals, and then the finals themselves. I feel this might just be the correct way of doing things.
So it is very unfortunate that we won't be able to conclude the semifinals today, but honestly, I'd much rather just, postpone it a bit than actively have, CEST play in such a poor condition, or just simply have him be forced to be disqualified. So, to everyone watching, truthfully, we apologize. It's very unfortunate, though there isn't a lot that we can do here. I'd much rather prioritize CEST's own health than just simply maintaining a viewer base, and I would say that would be the best option to postpone
then, yeah. So we're just gonna ask Eric to agree, and if he does, then we'll just start tomorrow. Maybe we'll just start on timer, because those will be just 2 best-of-5 series. So we'll start 7 p.m. CST with CEST versus Eric, and then we'll just move on from there. Very unfortunate, guys. I'm so sorry about this. Obviously, we're not like, this is not like the biggest tournament in the world, so we could probably afford this. I hope you guys don't mind this too much. Obviously, I feel like health of the players is the most important thing, so forcing CEST to play in this state, absolutely inhuman. So I probably will just kind of try to postpone this, people. I'm very sorry. So we'll probably just do 2 best-of-5s tomorrow at 7 p.m.
Alright then, well...
Yeah, I think that's just gonna conclude the day then. That's very unfortunate, but yeah. It is late for everybody as well, so I feel this might just kind of be the benefit, with the benefit for the entire stream as well.
CEST, please don't. We completely understand.
Peace out, brothers. Love you all.
Take care, man.
Take care.
Cherry. Ooh.
Yeah, congratulations to Cherry then, guys. So please remember, follow, subscribe. Also, check out the community Discord, because there's a lot of stuff going on. There are like 180, 190 people who are really interested, or fascinated in the Butcher sector, so you can really find someone to talk there. If you are not yet there, please join, consider joining at least. And unfortunately, this means that this is going to be it for today. I'm so sorry, Eric, that you're going to have to kind of have to play the double, or potentially one of you guys is actually going to have to play double series tomorrow. So first of all, the semis and then the finals themselves. But I feel like this is absolutely fine overall, like for the players, because this is just going to be maximum of 6 games played by them. So I feel like that's just fine. Oh no, this might be actually 10 games. Never mind. If we go to all the way, this might be indeed 10 games played tomorrow,
yes.
Which might be absolutely crazy. But yeah, I feel like this is just how we will do it. So I'm so sorry, Silencia, as well. This doesn't get the resolution. Obviously, best wishes of health to CEST right now. There is grand finals tomorrow as well. So we'll have semifinals tomorrow, and then the grand finals right after. So we start at 7 p.m. CST, which means by now we should by midnight we should be definitely done with the tournament as well. So sorry, people, about this. I feel like kind of not the greatest feeling in the world, but there is nothing else we can do.
Right. But with that, looks like we're going to be ending. So, Mike, take care. Everybody, remember to subscribe to YouTube, follow the Twitch, and join as a member or sub if you're in the financial situation to do so and wish to support the stream, allowing more content like this, potentially more tournaments in the future. And with that, I'll be saying goodbye for today. Take care, everybody, and see you, Mike.
Yeah, see you. We're just gonna raid someone, I think. We're just gonna go for a raid right now. That just kind of happens, people. People get sick, people get uncomfortable or unable to come to the designated hours, and this kind of comes down to situations like these sometimes. So it's just kind of, that's fine. This is absolutely okay by me as well. So we're just gonna host. Whom are we gonna host? The Scottish dude. I like the Scottish dude. We're gonna be hosting Orkanaut. He's lovely. He always does. He's such a friendly character as well. You people will just enjoy this after such a stressful moment, such a stressful ending of the tournament. So unfortunately, guys, unable to kind of conclude the stream, right? I'm unable to conclude the semis yet, so we'll just do this tomorrow. But yeah, that's just how it is. We'll just jump raid Orkan out, guys. So jump to my Twitch, please, if you are not there yet. And let's just give the guy like a healthy 30-man raid. I think he's just gonna appreciate this very much. So I'm just gonna drop the link to Orkan on the stream as well. So you can just go directly there from YouTube. You can just go from my channel right there as well. So let's raid. Let's start the raid as well. Thank you again for watching. Thank you for bearing with me, people. Remember, follow, subscribe. That means a ton to me. Every single follow on Twitch also matters, because this just kind of gives me more credibility as a streamer. Thanks to everybody who actually did subscribe and follow today. Thank you as well, man, for the donation. So that was such a big one. I am very much happy about this one. So Spill 23 if you're still there, thank you so much. Let's just go and raid Orkan. See you people tomorrow at 7 PM CST. I'm really hoping there will be no more reschedules, so we just get done the tournament tomorrow. Bye bye.